Welcome to Gibraltar. Well, hard to believe it, but Africa is just over there. But right here, we made history last night with the first ever women's T10 internationals. And the two winners last night, well, they'll meet in game 3. Should be a big one. I'm Mr. Maximo. This is the FanCode ECIW Gibraltar, and it starts right now. Good evening to you, wherever you're watching from around the world. Mr. Maximo here, Vinny Sandu for the European Cricket Network. Welcome back to Gibraltar. Always love being here. I've got the Rock on my right, I've got Africa behind me, I've got Europa Point in front of me, and that's where the action will be out in the middle tonight. It's night 2 of 6 in the FanCode Women's ECI tournament, and there's 4 teams here, 4 international teams. And actually, the 2 winners from last night, they're going head-to-head in match 3. It's Netherlands versus Italy. And a little earlier, Tyrone Peters was out in the middle of the ground with the 2 captains. Let's see who wins the coin toss.
Welcome to the first game this evening between the Netherlands and Italy. It'll be Italy to call. There's your tails, there's your heads. Tails a call, and it is a head.
We will have a bet first.
So the news from the coin toss is the Netherlands. They've won the toss, and Babette de Leyder, well, she leads the team tonight as Heather Seegers is out with a slight ankle injury. I still think we'll see Babette at the top of the order. But I've got to say that Frederik Overdijk comes in, and she holds the record in either men's or women's T20 internationals as far as bowling figures go. She took 7 wickets in one match, 7 for 3, which is quite an incredible performance. Can't wait to see her bowl. Netherlands really impressive last night, and they really picked apart a Sweden team that tried their hardest, but they couldn't really deal with the bowling. Let's see how the team go here that have to face them, Italy. I mean, I know that they had some good performers last night. For me, Regina Sudazai was incredible. She took 4 for 1, including the first ever hat-trick in a women's ECI, and I might hear from her on the mic a little bit later on. She's got a big responsibility. She's been pushed up to the order. She's listed at 4, and yeah, just think they need someone to stand up and play a good innings here if they're going to be able to chase down whatever the Dutch set them. Conditions today right now, it's almost time for sunset. The current temperature is around about 15 degrees. I expect that to drop a little bit, but pretty good conditions considering some of the weather we've seen here over the last month. Let's get ready for the first ball. Now, Joe Wegasani is in the commentary box and ready to go. I'll be there shortly, Joe, but first I'll tell you the news from the toss in match 3 is that the Dutch team, they've won the toss. They're going to have a hit. It's over to you. Get ready for some Maximos. Let's get ready for night 2.
Folks, and a very good evening indeed. We've just had a couple of little technical gremlins as we have a look at the fantasy dashboard come up there for this fixture in front of us. The Netherlands taking on Italy, both of them putting on significant scores last night. Italy, they made 136 in their innings against Gibraltar, and then of course the Netherlands against Sweden making 143. So it's going to be the Netherlands now. There's our expected scores. The Netherlands predicted to put 91 on the board by our Crickbot calculator. Indeed, it's going to be Stericallis out there with, I'd say, Babette de Leyder. As everyone is in place, the ring is in, of course. So 2 allowed outside the ring. There is 1 sweeper on the offside and a 3rd in the 3rd man position. And there's actually, who are we looking at there? Under mine, no, it is Babette de Leyder, who is on strike. As you see, Netherlands won the toss and chose to bat. No big surprise there, considering the incredible form of their top order last night. Indeed, I'm Joe Wigasani. We're here at the Europa Sport Complex. Mr. Maximo's on his way unless he swum out into the straights. We're ready. Let's play some cricket. And the first one, a really good nut, but just hitting something on the deck. It was in the good channel to start with. I'm just wondering whether the umpires will have another look at that. Came a little bit off the bat. Sorry, yeah, Calder's runs, I believe. Deleta 1 run to her score. Cullis on strike now. Amelia Bartram's got the new ball. She started well there, a little bit wide of off, but that is a better target. Look at that. Absolutely wonderful line and length and movement off the pitch as well. So a nice start from Bartram. Just tempting that edge. So angling at the stumps there, gets to the leading edge, pops up in the air, but not as far as the fielder on the full direct hit would have had it gone. But alas for the Italians, well, they are lively in the field, folks. They would have set themselves for this big task, looking for a scalp here to take the Dutch team and certainly to try to cramp them up. It is only the second T10 match that either of these sides have played. So this one a little bit slower, and Toledo moves down to the pitch of the ball and just hits it to mid-off. Takes a single. So it'll be interesting to see how this Dutch pair go about dealing with this. The power plays can run away from them quickly. And that one, just another good nut right on the money and just deflected away defensively onto the offside. Another single taken. But it's not quite the power hitting that you'd want to see in these opening 3 overs. So far, Bartram and the Italian team in general, they're on their toes, they're chatty, talking to each other. So that one will be a wide. So just getting it wrong on that occasion and letting that pressure valve just release a little bit. Yeah, you should be able to see that it's... If you're just joining us, we're at the Europa Sports Complex in this wonderful ground. Well, it's a night like no other that we've had as yet. There's that one right on the stumps again. Straighter ball, but really, really good length and good fielding out there. That was Gayatri Bhattagoda doing the fielding. So after 1 over, 6 runs on the board for the loss of no wickets. And what that means is that, well, I thought we lost you, but we sent someone out to get you, reeled you back in. You were so excited. Yeah, a few lifeboats.
Probably the one night the lifeboat could rescue you, because it's actually not that windy tonight. Let's just have a look at some of the top batters and bowlers in this contest. Well, no Seegers in the lineup for the Netherlands tonight. So Deleta, she scored 63 last night. Callis, I mean, she looked very good when she was out there as well. As far as Italy bowlers go, well, Siddhasai, she took that hat-trick last night. Let's see if she can challenge the Netherlands batters. Probably won't see her for a little while with her spin. Got to say, I was pretty impressed with Annemine Thompson as well, taking 3 for the Netherlands. But yeah, excited to see Frederik Overdijk, who took 7 for 3 versus France, the best ever T20 international figures. And one thing we've never had is a 7 for on ECN. We've had, I think, 8 or 9 6-fers now. It'll happen sometime. Anyway, here's Chatharika Mahamalagi, who's going to start. One thing I like about the Netherlands, they're always looking to score. I mean, they're challenging the field. There's been a couple that have been tight run-out opportunities potentially. But I think they know they've got 10 wickets to play with. They've got to just keep things moving all the way.
Yeah, they certainly do. And it will be positive signs so far for the Italians that they've managed to prevent any boundaries thus far compared to last night. So that one hitting her at full. She tries to sweep across the line. No run added.
Maybe got a bit of an inside edge there. I like the work of Methara Naika behind the stumps, right up to the stumps here, putting a bit of pressure on these batters as well. They like to use their feet, the Dutch top order, to get down. So just will play on their mind slightly. Callis Gets another opportunity. Pretty well bowled. Straightens down the line. They've got Sidazai sweeping out the leg side. So it's 2 outfielders allowed in the first 3 overs. Then you can have 4 in women's cricket from the next, from that point onwards. Anyway, yeah, some positive signs for both teams early. No boundaries yet. Yeah, that's what they were planning to do, and that's exactly what Delata does. Maximo! Well, she hit one this direction last night. This time she takes it on. Doesn't care about the keeper up to the stumps. She wasn't planning on missing it, and that one goes the journey.
Yeah, I didn't mind that form, though, from Malaga. Even though she was hit, it was a little bit too full. If she drops that back a little bit, she is getting some nice movement through the air away from the right-hander. So just finding her radar at the moment, but very good hitting from Delata. She is a dangerous batter.
Great shot, but you can't let that throw you as a bowler. I don't think it was a bad ball. It was a challenge ball. Another day that might go up in the air. Delata, so confident. Yeah, this time kind of beats her in flight a little bit. I'll get a single. Yeah, but I like this. I mean, don't be discouraged about getting hit. That's the thing. That's the message. I think being consistent with the ball paid dividends last night. The teams that were consistent with the ball, okay, it didn't always work for them, but typically over the 10 overs they had a good time, and a couple of fairly big victories for both these teams last night. Mahamlagi, 9 off the over. Straight back. It's a good stop. They won't get one there. So it's nice work. It's pretty good over, I think. And yeah, Italy up and about early. Netherlands, they are 15 without loss.
Yeah, significantly less than what they were at this stage in their power play last night as well, Vinny. They've certainly been stifled a little bit. And what the Italians are doing, you can sense it on the field. They are really on their toes. There's a really, real intent and energy about the way that they're fielding.
There's real enthusiasm about the Italian team and the Dutch and probably all the teams here. But yeah, I just think watching the Italy warm up, there's a lot of noise. There's a lot of kind of patting on the back and all that stuff. I want to say a quick hello to a few people in the chat as well. Kitty Hundley and Chris Smith and JR. It's nice to be here. And so, come back to you in a second. Bartram coming back to bowl out. Oh, that could be out.
That's a great delivery, yes.
Very, very good bowling. It pitches middle and it straightens down the line. This is the risk, trying to hit everything to the leg side that's on the stumps. You miss one and it's trouble. Even though she gets forward, I think it's a very good decision. Bartram breaks through and it's 15 for 1.
Yeah, she's just fallen into the trap here at the Europa Sports Complex, playing across the line, and in that spot they stay low, Vinny. We've seen it for the last month.
That's what we really want there, camera 1. That's all we want.
As we go to having another look at it.
Yeah, that one pitches middle. I think it just straightens down the line enough. And for me, you see here, that's what beats the bat.
Beautiful ball.
Even though she's charging, it's back pad, and really, unless it was going under, that one was going to crash into the stumps. I think probably middle stump. Yeah, good bowling. That's a big wicket to get Babette Delata. Half century last night, but this time she has to go for just 11.
Yeah, positive start here for the Italians. Certainly they would have been watching with fixed gaze last night as the Dutch team went about, well, taking Sweden to the sword a little bit, but at this stage, Italy, they should be having their heads held high.
Yeah, they would. Anyway, here's Iris Thrilling, who's coming out at 3. Bartram with the tail up. Oh, well, they do love their football in Italy. Didn't want to use their hands there. But you can see Italy doing whatever is necessary to make these stops.
I actually think she went to a classic cricket training here and got down on the one knee.
Well, I mean, they talk about the long barrier, but that's meant to be your second line of defence. You're not meant to lead with the knee. Anyway, he's bowling well. Love to sneak another in here. This one comes back in a little bit. They go on their hit and they'll get there. 1 run. But yeah, the pressure of the keeper up to the stumps, I think is a bit of a game changer as well. As far as mindset goes. Hello to Conrad Greenshields. Yeah, the boundary here is about 40 metres. So it's about 20% less than our regular ECN boundary for men. And that's kind of based on the difference in boundary sizes in ICC cricket between women's and men's cricket. This one will be okay. Sneaks inside. And how are you, Conrad? How is Oerash, your club, preparing for ECL? They're in Group F. Of course, we're not too far away from the ECL as well. Monica Loveday, hello to you. Watching from Germany, I'm sure. And anyone I missed, hello to Sujan ABC and to Dave. Jeff Maguire's in there as well. Saying good decision. Yeah, it was, I think. Pitching middle, hitting middle. This one won't be coming back enough. Bartram's on it quickly, though. Has a pop.
Good backing up.
Yeah, remember we'll have one overthrow. It could have been worse.
Yeah, she ran all the way there from short third man to try to stop that overthrow.
Yeah.
She get a hand to it and save a boundary.
I like her hustle, Bartram. I mean, she sees straight away. It's not really LBW, but she's on it quickly.
Do you know what she's doing, Vinny? She's bowling to a plan. She's setting them up. She's really playing with her lines and her length, trying to really set the batter up for that in-swing arm, that fuller ball.
Yeah, it's clever bowling. It'll be two-leg buys in the end. Last ball for Bartram. Go straight and go nicely down the ground. Callis, it's a bit slow to get going, but this is a shot of a class player. Cuatro carreras, 4 to finish the over. End of the power play, 22 for 1. I just noticed in the chat, Joe.
Yeah.
Corey Ruckers has popped in. Hello, Corey. How are you doing? I know you're having a few days off. Hopefully you're having a good time there in the kennel. That's where they call it.
Yeah.
Where he lives. And he lives with Scotty Edwards. Scott Edwards, the men's national Dutch captain. And they're both watching and supporting. And Scotty even has his Dutch shirt on. So there you go.
Yeah.
Keep your shirt on, actually, just for the benefit of everyone around, Scott. But anyway, nice to have you with us and nice to have that kind of support. A lot of great feedback about the games last night. And we had a really exciting start to match 3 here.
Yeah, we certainly have. As we have a look at how they've gone about building this inning so far. And it's in the balance at the moment, I think, Vinny.
It is. No, Bartram goes 1 for 11. Bowled really, really well. Like the way she moved the ball just enough. But now out of the power play, 4 outfielders allowed from this point onwards. Captain Pedrick comes in and just won't quite get out there to the long on. But yeah, I think it's just basics, isn't it? Trying to eliminate the bad balls. I think you're trying to create those chances, but then you've got to hold them. And I think the fielding is going to be really important as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Just as Pedrick makes sure her field is all in alignment. Just sending someone to long on. So the 2 outside. We need to check this. We've got 4 outside, so 2 long on, long off.
Shot. It's just worked away. There's nobody back behind square. This will be 4. This is just pure timing from Callis. You can see, I think with this ball, just kind of drifts and leg stumping outside. You're going to have a rough time. Those boundaries really hard to protect.
Yeah, we really saw last night how powerful they are off the pads as well. And really wants to try to keep it a little bit further outside the off stump than that, Pedrick.
Again, this is drifting down. Not a bad stop. Bit of a half stop from the keeper. Ratnaka. 2 wides. So, yeah, this is the thing. I mean, I think Gibraltar last night bowled 37 extras or something like that. I mean, you can't really afford too many of them. Richie Cunningham doing the umpiring tonight. And nice to him out there. Had a pretty good series in the ECT10 here.
Certainly did.
Oh, this is a really tough stumping chance. Number 2, number 3. Yeah, so this is one of the toughest stumpings. It goes between the body and the stumps. And you can see it's just didn't quite cover the line. Does get 2 gloves to it. Yeah, but that was a chance.
Yeah, those are the chances they really need to make sure that they grab onto in this series.
Yeah, a bit of hesitation. Yeah, Italy, disappointed with that, but it's still creating the chance. Yeah, the thing there, she does pretty well to get 2 gloves to it.
Do you think Richard Cunningham's just saying, look, this is how you take 20 wickets on this
yeah, I mean,
on this pitch?
He knows this ground inside out, doesn't he, Richie? Oh, this time, she's not missing out. This one is gone. Maximo! Nearest goes large. Zwilling hits the 6er and swings Netherlands into the 30s.
Yeah, just dropping that one a little bit too short to allow the charge down the ground. Lovely seam position, though. I don't mind what we're seeing from the Italian bowlers in terms of their presentation.
One thing I want to say about the stumping being missed, but that's a chance that you've created.
Yep.
If you were back, you wouldn't have created it. So you're kind of no worse off.
Here again.
Oh, this time was another opportunity.
Chance.
Yeah, and so just this one, I just don't think she quite stays low long enough. Again, I'm not too critical of this because, yeah, if you're creating a chance that wouldn't have been there otherwise if you're keeping back, but it just couldn't quite get the ball in the gloves.
You have to capitalise on the chance having created it.
Yeah,
so.
I'm always a bit easy on keepers because I like the proactive the decision to come up to the stumps, but just disappointing for Ratnayake. She's not able to grab either of them. 4 overs down now. It's 36 for 1. Hello to Yuvraj, and thanks for donating 1,000 rupees.
Oh, very good,
Saying hello to Scotty Edwards and Vinny and Decory, and I know that the Netherlands guys, they'll have a good time. Good time of day there.
Absolutely. It's the fabled hour over there in the Netherlands. I'm sure they're all kicking back and
7:45. There'll be a couple deep.
behaving themselves.
Anyway, hello to anyone I might have missed out in the chat. Julian Dawson's in there as well. Okay, crossroads in this game now. Italy have made a strong start. They've got to keep going on with it. And now looks like we're going to continue with a bit of spin. And it's going to be Delasha Naniakara, who we saw opening the batting last night.
Yeah, she was great with the bat.
Pitches up and hit into the gap. Good placement. Zwilling getting going now. Moves into double figures.
Yeah, and this is really that period. These batters are learning that you just have to wait a little bit on this pitch. And once they've figured that out, then the bowlers, they have to play with their variation to try to beat that predictability.
Now, I know, this is my personal opinion, I know that in T20 internationals, you only get 4 outfielders. And I understand that's kind of what we're mirroring here. But
Yeah.
I'd like to see us still have the teams have the ability of 5 outfielders.
Absolutely.
I think it's very hard to protect these boundaries. The boundary's pretty small anyway.
Seems to also crowd the infield quite a bit.
Anyway, that's something maybe we'll look at. But this series, it will be in line with the existing regulations. Just 4 outfielders allowed.
We're nothing if not proper, Vinny.
Yeah. Back straight, really straight. Good stop by Bartram, who's having a great time. Oh, some hesitation. Oh, I think this was a chance. She couldn't quite grab it. I reckon that's a half chance. There was some thought of it too.
Great fielding by Bartram.
You can see Callis said no.
Reaches for it.
That was a direct hit. It would have been out. And I still think that if the bowler can grab that, it's probably a chance as well. So, yeah, they're making things happen, Italy.
Chances are occurring.
Yep. Got to break this partnership, though, because both these are powerful hitters.
Yeah, she's a canny operator, though, Nana Yukara. She's certainly going to have some plan.
Yeah, just look at this field. Well, I'm glad I didn't say anything because I was thinking about dropping this person here. Yeah, great fielding once again. That's Tofoletto out there. That keeps it to 1. So Italy fielding really well, having a good start. And I like this. Getting down.
I think we've only seen three deliveries maybe that have been that far outside the offside.
Yeah.
So it's been quite tight, and a couple of wides, I believe, down the leg side. So it's been pretty tight so far from the Italians.
That's a full toss, miscued and gone. Fantastic catch. It was always curving away from the fielder. Naniakara does it with a full toss. Willing. Well, she'll be filthy that she missed out on that one. But again, catches win matches, and Italy hold 1 there. It's 42 for 2.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the plan that Naniakara had, but it certainly worked out well for her. Just coming out a little bit too high, but getting that big leading edge.
Oh, it's a good catch as well. Had to go kind of almost full stretch there. That's Kanankegi, who's in the short third man position, and she judged it really well. Stayed on her feet, but yeah, difficult catch with the ball going away from you. So yeah, it's Willing just couldn't quite time that. Sometimes full toss, your eyes light up, and I think that's what happened there. She is the second wicket to fall.
Here's Frederik Overdijk coming into the crease.
Really good to see Frederik in the lineup. And straight into the top 4 as well.
How is it having it? We've got a world record holder in front of us here, Vinny.
Yeah, well, there's kind of all sorts of record holders on both sides, really, because we've just started T10 international records.
That's true.
So we've got best figures. We've got...
highest score.
Yep.
Yeah.
Zeta Zayda still to bowl. It's pretty well bowled. Just away for a single. So Overdyk's off the mark. Maybe getting a little bit of pad before the bat, but looking forward to seeing her. I mean, the Dutch, they used 5 bowlers last night. They all kept the pressure on pretty well. Again, the Italians are probably relying on a couple of key players to chase this score down. It's well bowled again. Nice little cut shot.
Bowling.
Goes down. They think of a second again. Yes, well fielded. Don't mind that bounce. The low bounce throw in is a pretty good option, I think. Takes the lights out of the equation as well. But that will be the end of the 5th over, and the score is 44-2. Well, we were just talking about this off-air, and the European Cricket League is coming, and it's only 6 days away. It'll start Monday, the 27th of February. And I know that a few people in the chat were talking about the fact they were looking forward to that. It's always great to see the Champions League of European Cricket. It'll be the 3rd edition. And don't forget, a Dutch team won it the first year. VOC Rotterdam won the first ever ECL.
Yeah, absolutely. More history in the making there. And I'm just imagining that Cardamom Oval is like an ant's nest at the moment. Just a flurry of activity going on.
There's a lot going on to set up for that ground. I mean, if you've ever seen it without all the bells and whistles, it's just a regular cricket ground. Very nice one. But
with the
I
bells
was
and
disappointed.
whistles.
I didn't ever realise they take the bar away at the end of the tournament. I said, what are you doing? Here's Sudazai anyway. I was going to say, she's on a double hat trick if you want to carry it across games, and that's a pretty good start. Getting a bit of turn there. She's a key player, isn't she? It's hard to believe that she made her international debut last night. She looked right at home.
She certainly did, coming away with the player of the match as well in that first fixture. And I was watching her just roll through her arm before this game started. And very, very precise, hitting it on a good length every time. Like
Wow, how about that? She is having a golden start to this tournament. Sudazai, you saw there, bit of turn back, smacked into middle and off, and Overdyke goes early. It's 45-3.
Yeah, well, look, we saw Overdyke playing that shot a couple of times. She was looking to go forward and then back and then cut away from the stumps, just cramping herself up. Another wonderful wicket for this young Italian superstar in the making.
Yeah, and just the footwork went away from the ball, opened up the stumps. It's a bit risky early.
So that would mean she's got a wicket, a dot, a hat-trick, a dot,
and a wicket. Yeah. Not bad.
That's pretty good.
But yeah, so what's that?
International career
5
beginning.
wickets in 7 balls. Making it look easy.
Yeah.
Look, it's good stuff from Italy. Remember, these two teams both had pretty big wins last night, so it's going to be a good contest. Right now, this is Jolien van Vliet coming to the crease.
Oh,
Bowled again! She's on a hat-trick. Can you believe what you're seeing? Magic in front of your eyes coming from the rock. As soon as I goes 2 and 2, she's on another hat-trick. It is 45 for 4. Unbelievable stuff.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. And look at the joy written across all of their faces there as they get around her and just hitting, just angling straight in at the off stump and the play across the line. Really not what was warranted there.
And the turn back is what did it as well. That one hit off. First one hit middle and off. Right now, I mean, confidence is everything, isn't it, in cricket? And right now, Sudazai's playing with unprecedented levels of confidence. And I tell you what, if there's ever a bowl off, I want her on my team because she hits the stumps so often.
Absolutely.
So we've got a hat-trick opportunity here.
It's really the freedom that she's playing with as well. And you can see that really emanating throughout the Italian team. They are on a buzz at the moment.
Lynch, well, her heart rate's just gone up. She's facing the hat-trick ball from Sudazai. She missed.
went for the edge.
I tell you what, she just pulled that a little bit to the left. We saw that last night. I think it was Thompson had a hat-trick ball. And
yeah, just dragged
it. wasn't quite as wide as hers. But you see there.
Devastated.
Yeah, well, there's the hat-trick last night. She's hat-trick number 3 for the season, but the first ever in the ECIW. Oh, in the air, up-ish.
Good fielding.
Yeah, very good fielding. Mahamalagi keeps it to 1. Wow, Italy really putting the Dutch to the test here.
Yeah, they certainly are. And who would have seen this coming? Getting through the top of the order as well. That would have been their aim. Really try to get into the guts of this batting lineup.
Yeah, nice little cut this time. It'll go to the boundary. And top of the bounce. Not an easy shot. Well, Callis has watched the carnage from the other end.
Yeah.
A lot of responsibility on her. She brings up the 50 for the Netherlands with a boundary.
Yeah, I was just saying that. It's not quite the whole top of the order as Callis has been out there and watching it all fall apart around her as it is after 6 overs. 50 for 4 it is.
Yeah, it is. And hello to Jason as well. Nice to see you. A lot of people thought there could be another hat trick. Harriet saying she's just too good. Jeff said, might have to give her another hat. Well, she'll have more hats than she knows what to do with, Jeff, if she keeps bowling like this. And Morrison looking forward to the ECL. But yeah, right now, they're looking sharp, as Chris Schinkel says.
What's really good here, Vinny, are the sundries so far. They've had a few loose ones, but really kept it under control.
Man, you think about this, they've missed a couple of opportunities as well, Italy, but still got the Netherlands fighting for their runs. Another off spinner coming on. Aniakara keeps that to nothing. Hello to Francisco as well. Hello to Terry, saying he thinks that probably Regina will get some more chances for hat tricks this week. Let's find out. But
There's people calling for hat tricks now. She's just doing it for
fun. We didn't have a hat trick all season, 150 games or something. We had 3 in 2 days. We had 2 in an innings. Same guy.
Might happen again.
Wow. Again, backs away, and they won't get a run here. Picks out the fielder. So, yeah, the extra infielder compared to what you get in men's cricket. Sometimes it helps you, sometimes it hurts you. But, yeah, a lot of the Netherlands batters wanting to kind of back away and give their stumps up.
Yeah.
Maybe that's because there's only one outfielder on the offside. So you can understand that in theory, but it can be risky if you miss it. This is well picked up. It's a half a chance.
Gee, they've been sharp in the field.
They've worked so hard on their fielding. That's really obvious to me. You see, the catch earlier from Kanankigi, and some of these clean pickups and throws. Really setting a high standard here, the Italians. Imagine another 2 wickets here. Callis still the draw card.
Oh, see how low that stayed.
Yeah, it's been pretty interesting.
That's
how the finger spinners have some shooting through.
If you get just a couple of inches towards the offside, we've seen them really popping up as well.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of a dead spot
I
on
like
the
this
field
pitch.
there on the pitch. Yeah.
There's something in it for the bowlers. This time gets a bit too straight, and this should be a boundary. So there you go, just missing your spot against a class player like Callis. You can't get away with it. So Callis moves to 22, and you can see there, she could just get her body inside that one and sweep away.
I don't mind what she was trying. Obviously straying a little bit far down the leg side, but it is putting those couple outside the off and then one on the stumps and relying on that low bounce for the LBW or the bowled.
Faisal asking, what's a good score for the Netherlands? It's hard to say, really, because it's only went to our second night of play. Tossed up and driven nice into the gap. That's a proper cricket shot from Stedet as she goes back to back and moves to 26.
Well, so the end of 7 overs now, it is 59-4-4.
Yeah.
And
good shot there.
On that, Vinny, so what we saw in the ECS that just finished the other night, the highest score from memory is 120.
Yeah.
So
now, girls kind of put
it's already been.
Last night it was 8.8 average run rate across all the innings, but there was high and there was a lot of variation. So let's have a look. This is what's coming up on Monday. These are the 6 groups, and maybe our Dutch supporters be interested to follow VOC Rotterdam. They're in Group B, 2nd of March. They'll be on. As far as our Italians, well, Roma CC, they'll be there. Group E, starting 13th of March. And I know a couple of players in front of me will be pretty interested there. That's Pramath, Eknelagoda and Lorena. Also, there's a bit of Roma CC representation in this women's Italian team. That's another one that goes between the batter and the stumps. Yeah, so this is just a little tip for Ratnayaka. I think with the spin, she needs to try and needs to kind of that left foot needs to go a little bit further. It goes a little bit, but she's still trying to take the ball to the left of that left leg, and it's quite a tough take. So sometimes against an off spin, you want to go a bit further than you think. Another good ball.
Yeah, well played.
She's bowled really well again. But, yeah, right now, I mean, let's have a think about it. They're on 83 pace. Let's say they can say something in the 80s. I mean, Italy would still have to work really hard to get it, but we know that they've got some batters that looked very good last night, and probably a couple that missed out that'll be hungry for runs. Hello to Sarabjit. Nice to see you in the chat as well. Hello, Joey Marples.
Yeah, great to see Joe Marples in the chat as well. We missed you at the ECS this year.
Yes. Picking out the sweeper on the offside. Yeah, Joey saying, talking about Callis's experience in the top-level English competition in the 100. And, I think that kind of experience really holds in good stead because this is a pressure atmosphere. T10 is all about pressure. Nice looking shot that time, but doesn't get a run. Again, the fielding's been really good. And Callis has played some good shots, but really, you start thinking if it wasn't for her, where would this Netherlands innings be at?
Yeah, I think they've got a really nice field on the offside for this as well. That sort of between cover and extra cover, then the sweeper, and then the backward point, doing a good job.
Goes after this and beautifully inside out. Sarah Callis, that is a class shot. Didn't quite get to the pace, to the pitch of that, but she went through with the shot. I love the way she maneuvers this. Just watch the hands.
Yeah.
Really made an effort to get it a little bit wide of the long off, and great padding. 4 more runs.
Exactly that offside field I was talking about. She absolutely pinpointed the gap.
Last ball for Sudasai. Wants this wicket. Won't get it, but keeps it to 1. So Callis will retain the strike, moves to 32, and that's 8 overs down. The score is 67-4. Another good spell from Regina, though. She takes 2 for 13. Sebastian Brutt, well, he captained Netherlands 11-2, an ECC victory last year. Nice to see you in the chat, Sebastian, saying let's see some sixes from the Dutch girls. We just had the 2 sixes in this innings, one from Babette de Leyder and one from Zwilling. But you can see there's no awful overs, but you can see that apart from that 14, Italy have done pretty well just keeping it under control.
Yeah, genuine contest between bat and ball there, Vinny. That's what's written on that chart.
Now, I feel like this is a huge 2 overs. Let's say that Italy can keep this up and they keep them to low 80s. Then I think they'll feel pretty confident going to the second innings. But if this goes off the hook and we end up with 100 or something, then you feel like Netherlands will have all the momentum heading into the second half.
Yeah, and Pedrick bringing herself on at this stage. There's a lot of pressure on her shoulders to do exactly that, Vinny. We've seen her be a little bit wayward in her previous over, going for 13.
Slides in, going down the leg side.
Not so far down the leg side as what I thought initially. I thought that was going to go for a wide, straighten up a little bit.
Just kind of misjudged that, I think. That's one, if you stay at home, it's going to be a tough take for the keeper as well. You might get some freebies. Anyway, Callis gets away from the strike, over to Lynch. Charges. Probably get 1.
Yeah, what the Netherlandish women are doing at the moment really well is using their feet, Vinny. They liked
to do that last night. It's created a couple of stumping chances as well tonight, though, with Ratnaka up to the stumps. All happens in the 9th. Picked up, long chase for Bartram. She's a machine out there.
Look at that arm as well.
They probably would have gotten a 2, but they didn't want to risk it. I can understand why. I reckon they've saved 10 to 15 runs in the field as well, Italy. I think they've really had a good night so far. But this is the thing, sustaining it over the 10 overs, that's the thing.
Yeah, not getting lost in the hype until it's all over. Good ball.
Oh, it's another one. It's a really tough one because it's the hardest stumping chance when it goes between the body and the stumps, because the stumps are distracting you, the batter's distracting you, but she does make the stop, so that's important as well. Elevated towards Bartram. He horns it in. Just a single. Again, good defensive work from Italy. Callis is really the key for me. I think she has to face as many of these last 7 balls as possible.
It's been a great over so far from Pedrick. 3 off it.
This one, she wants the 1, but tell you what, it's almost a chance. But in the end, Lynch has decided that she's not going to go anywhere. Probably makes sense. Callis gets dotted up. Let's have a look at this at the end, and kind of wanted to run, then had a look where the ball was and said it's probably not worth it. Keeper throws anyway, misses. So all happening in the 9th as usual. 71 for 4. We talked about the last 2 overs. That one was a pretty good one from Pedrick. Only went for 4, including a leg bite. So we head into the last, and he only 1 boundary in the last 2 overs. They've done really well to hold this, Italy. But again, this last over big. If you can hold him to high 70s, low 80s, you're probably pretty happy. If it goes magical, you're definitely not. Lynch has had a bit of a rough time getting going as well. She's 5 off 10. And it's going to be Mahamalagi to bowl the last. Not a bad shot. Again, a long chase.
Got feet.
I think that might be 4. Let's have a look at that comment too. And looks that way. Yeah, I think she might have been the wrong side of the border here. It's the last step. Yeah, that's probably pretty conclusive evidence if you ask me. I mean, look, she wasn't touching the rope. I'll give her that. 4 runs to start the 10th.
Yeah, good response.
Callis really wants to get to the other end here, but she's not going to be able to again. Keep her up to the stumps makes that really tough.
Yeah, it's a really good tactic at this stage as well. I'm glad that they've gone for that with this match. And big hello, of course, to Jay in the chat as well.
Yeah, g'day, Jay.
He's of course, new member of our ECN crew.
Callis is going no matter what there. And it might go all the way, though. So good batting from Lynch, who breaks the shackles in the 10th. They're up to 79, knocking on the door of the 80s. Again, this is good placement by luck or design. It seemed to come off the outside half of the bat and just sliced away from the fielder. Yeah, Julian saying Italy haven't allowed the Netherlands to dictate. Yeah, they've certainly been competitive. Now change of angle, Mahamalagi. Callis, she's itchy to get on strike. She's stuck still.
Yeah.
Good shot.
Yeah,
really
great
good shot. That's forward. Blasted down the ground. Well, no Callis, no worries, I guess, for Lynch, who was 5 off 10, but 3 boundaries in this last over, changing the narrative slightly as the Netherlands women, they strike their way into the Grady 80s.
Yeah, I don't mind the thinking by Mahamalaga here to come around the wicket, but it does take out that stumping chance even more. Gives them a little bit more freedom to come down the pitch like this.
He digs this out. Probably one. Well, it's not a bad effort from the bowler. But it'll be 84 with Callis to face the last ball. Great effort from the bowler, but she was safely home. So anyway,
Yeah, so
drum roll.
here we
Everyone,
go.
seatbelts on. Here we go.
It's been a great effort by the Italians.
Maximo for 90. Here we go. Oh, shot.
good
What
shot.
a shot that is.
Wow.
And Maximo. Perfect finish as plenty come off the last over. I make that 19 off the 10th. So the Netherlands women, they'll be very happy that they get that far, I think, considering how things were going. That is a class shot from Callis.
Yeah, and Sarah Callis spending all that time with the non-strikers there. She had to make the most of the limited opportunities at the end there.
So, yeah, Lynch and Callis putting on a good partnership in the end. They came together at 45 for 4. They doubled the score in the last 4.5 overs. So the Netherlands do hit the second half with a bit of momentum. But I think Italy, with some of their players, they'll feel like they can do this and pull off a bit of an upset here in match 3 of this FanCode ECIW. I tell you what, I got to say, I was really impressed with the bowling, the fielding of Italy. I think Bartram was outstanding. She was able to get that big wicket, just straightening down the line to get Babette Delata, last night's top scorer. You know, Netherlands, they had to work hard for their runs, but still, I call this about a par score on the board and a very interesting second half to come.
Yeah, absolutely, Vinny. This has really been a good, tight tussle between bat and ball. As we saw in the middle overs, the Italians really managed to put a bit of the clamps on. Some great catching as well. Their fielding was absolutely superb, and as mentioned, they would have saved a good 20 or so runs just in the field. And then Regina came on. Well, she took a hat-trick last night, almost took another one tonight with 2 quick wickets in succession there, which put a little bit of a dent in the Dutch batting hopes. They would have to recover, which they did with these 2 at the crease at the very end. And then, of course, Sterakalis hitting that excellent 6 over extra cover with the very final delivery. So that's how it's panned out thus far, folks. As we have a look at the batting scorecard, and that one you can see there, Sterakalis carrying her bat all the way through, really forming a rock around which the rest of her teammates could try to build some sort of a total. 90 for 4 they got to off the 10 overs, and and you can see there with the sundries as well, Italy did very well, only giving away the 3 wides in the process, as the bowling scorecard should be presenting itself in front of us. And that should be happy reading for some of the Italian women. Have a look at that. Emilia Bartram, she was excellent at the start. Really setting the tone with that early, very important wicket of Babette Delata. And then Delasha Nana Yakara chipping in for 1. While Regina, well, she picked up her regulation. What's becoming a regulation? A couple of wickets going at just 6.5 and over as well. Excellent work. A great tight tussle it looks like we have in front of us, folks. And we'll be back with all that action and more in a few short minutes. Until then, ciao for now. And a very good welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're watching around the world. Here we are at the Europa Sports Complex in Gibraltar. It's been a fascinating battle so far between bat and ball, as the Dutch women managed to put 90 runs on the board, losing those wickets along the way. Really showing positive signs for the Italian fielding team as they set about trying to stem any such flow as what we saw last night with the Dutch batting, and now it is incumbent upon the Italians to chase this down in their 10 overs. It is going to be Dilaisha Nanayakara and Sharon Vitanage with the job of opening the batting for their team. It's a really clear evening here as well. It's after a month of this sea salt squall pervading everywhere and washing across us. Well, Vinnie Sanders arrived in town and suddenly the sun is shining and the sea spray is no longer. So that bodes well, at least for the rest of this evening, if not for the rest of the tournament, but we'll see how it goes. As all the players are out there, we're ready. Let's play some cricket. It's Iris Zvilling with the new nut. She bowling at a really good pace. Bit of a fully ball there and a little bit too straight, but she did get some nice movement, late movement. In the end there, just coming off the pad, so no run added. Big hello to everybody out there, wherever you are watching, whether on FanCode in India, of course, our YouTube channel, European Cricket Network. There's that one splayed away through the point region, and the first boundary for the Italians is on the board. That was beautifully hit, too short, too wide, and dealt with. Absolutely delightful hitting, almost making it to the rope as well. Just that one bounce before going over and adding 4 more runs to the score. In fact, the first 4 runs. And the Italians are away. Vitanage, she was in great form last night. Let's see if she can continue. Oh, this is a good ball. Good response, too high from Zrilling, but a great response after being splayed away through the offside for 4. Still not as short as the previous ball, but still keeping it just back of a length. So tempting that back foot cross batted shot. Good tight tussle so far between these two teams. That one again, just inviting the pull shot, but a little bit too pacey, one feels, and that's going to be something for all the batters for the teams facing the Netherlands, is that their opening bowlers do bowl at a pace, no doubt about it. And we did see Iris Zvilling have bowled to good effect last night as well, as Vitanage comes down the pitch there and strikes it out to extra cover. It's going to be 5 runs added because the throw, well, done with a little bit too much earnest. Vitanage, she was well short, definitely within her rights. That is Stera Colours, who tried to hit the stumps directly, just missing, and it means that Italy have 5 more runs on the board. There's a little bit of a chat going on here, figuring out, 5 runs. So that means that actually it's going to be you, Dilaisha, on strike. So there's one delivery remaining in this first over. And that is the run rate that is required, of course, 8.94. They're tracking at the moment. And that one has been pulled to square leg. There could have been a run out, still could be. Oh, well, the return throw to the keeper was to the wrong end. Both the batters were at that end at one stage as they took off, and just a little bit of ball watching going on there from Dilaisha Nanayakara as she caught herself languishing. I think she's just got home in time. As we have a look there, the bat seemed to bounce a little bit and then grounds itself again right as the stumps are impacted. So she should be home, I believe. So a chance there for the Netherlands. That means that after that first over, it's 10 runs on the board. Whew. Yeah, Vinny, 10 runs on the board, 7 matches without a golden ball.
Yeah, I mean, golden ball fever. I have to say, I've got my first ECI women's tingle. I've got the golden ball tingle here at the moment.
I don't know if you want to say that on recording.
I'm just saying that I got a feeling this could be a close one, especially with that first over. The 4 overthrows costly, going for the stumps, and I can understand that. But, yeah, I don't think Dutch will be happy with it. Here's Van der Woning, who almost gets one. First ball through Nania Kara. Hey, I want to say a big shout out to Mrs. Spadia's class at Tempe Elementary, Arizona. They're all watching the game as Miss Spadea is her sister. So I want to say hello to all of those guys at Tempe Elementary. It's Vinny here. I'm here with Joe. Hope you're enjoying the action.
Yeah, very big hello to everybody out there.
We're following Regina. Oh, that's a big one. Big whites. Great stop by Babette Delata because it was jumping on her as well, but it'll be 2 bonus runs. And yeah, I mean, overthrows don't technically count as extras, but you look at those, you look at the couple of wides there. I mean, Italy certainly don't want to fall behind in this chase. I think it'll be hard to make it up against the spinners that Netherlands have at their disposal. But yeah, they've been good so far. They have to go that 9 and over or so if they want to be about 18 at the end of the over. Very exciting match right now. Another one that would have missed leg stump if she got inside it. Instead, it just skews off the pad for a leg by. I want to say hello to everyone else in the chat as well. Yeah, a lot of people really enjoying this game. And also, we've got Chorian Van Loon saying kisses to Jolien from her roommates in the Netherlands. We are rooting for you. Yeah, Jolien Van Vliet, who out in the field at the moment. Might see her a little bit later with the ball. Takes this on. Again, we're going to have trouble here. Couldn't pick it up.
Oh, good.
Couldn't pick it up. Even could have gone to the bowler. I think that's Delanger, who's at mid-on. It's all about the lack of hesitation. I think Italy have been coached to go on contact.
Yeah, although we have seen a little bit of hesitation with those 2 chances that they just need to eradicate out of it.
I just don't think there's a run there, to be honest.
Yeah.
But they take it on anyway. I guess I'll tell you something in a second. First, let's watch Van der Woning. It's close on, probably a wide. Yes, on the outside bit of the line, if at all.
You see how that really kicked up, though.
Yeah, getting good bounce out of this. Yeah, just the movement was their enemy, really.
Yeah.
What I was going to say is, I think Italy, they're not too scared of a run out because who they've got to come. I mean, Sudazai looked so good last night. Yep. They don't want her in the pine too long, and they don't want to fall behind. That's why they're being really proactive, I think, with the running between the wickets.
That's really nicely played.
Beautiful backhand, isn't it? It's behind point, and with Nagy goes into double figures, using the pace of the bowler. And Italy right now, they're all up on their feet. They believe this will be a big upset, I think, even with both these teams having a big win last night. But yeah, Italy, they are looking in the hunt at the moment.
No, that's a really good call, using the pace of the bowlers. And like you said, it is going to be trouble to create that pace with the spinners later on. So really capitalising in these stages. Super well done.
Well, that one jumps.
Yeah.
It's good bowling. It's a real handful with that height she's got. Now, look, let me just tell everyone, we do have a bench for the players. We're not making them stand up. They are choosing to stand up and get a little bit closer to the action.
It's excitement.
It's a bit like
there's the bench.
When you're on the edge of your seat. Well, they're not just on the edge of their seat. They're about 15 metres in front of the seats. Anyway.
Watch for the full one here, Vinny.
Last ball, the over. It's short again. Is this out? It's gone. And so Witnagi nicks off at the end of the second. Van der Woning has something to show for her work. End of 2. It's 19 for 1. Nice catch behind the stumps as well by Babette Delata.
Yeah, I thought we'd see the fuller one in at the pads, but she stuck to that length and just getting it a much better line and knowing what a good cutter.
Yeah,
with
no hesitation. She walks anyway with Nagy. I think she doesn't even look to the umpire. She is very, very sporting.
Well, we've seen that, haven't we, so far?
Yeah, we saw that last night as well when she walked. She'd probably prefer if she stopped nicking balls, though. Anyway, this is a big moment, and this is what I expected. Regina Sudazai batting at 3. They did list Mahamlagi at 3, but I think, now considering how good Regina looked last night, I think you got to give her the chance to kind of marshal this innings and
carry through what she's done with the ball already. She's when you're on, you're on. And Well, so I've heard. I've never actually experienced it myself, but she's certainly at the top of her game at the moment.
Spin in the power play, and it's DeLanger who's going to bowl.
Oh, got something to it.
Sliced and out. So you can see there, it was wide, had to reach for it. And so both openers go in consecutive balls. Nana Yakara goes for 2. Probably wasn't the best ball from DeLanger, but Nana Yakara was determined to chase it. Went down the pitch and found trouble. That's 2 wickets down now. 19 for 2.
Yeah, turns out to be a very good bowling change indeed. DeLanger putting that one, you say, a little bit short and wide, but goes chasing it. I'd say if she'd left that, it might have been called a wide as well.
Might have been, but also might have been wide and stumped if she left it. Yeah. So, I mean, you can understand she had to go after it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Bartram comes to the crease and she's having a very good game as well. So, okay, the openers have got them so far. Don't mind that. They've got them to 19 off 2. They've got them at the rate. But, I mean, these two, they can't waste too much time. They've got to stay on the pace. Don't think you want to get it up in double digits required. Bartram left-hander, so left-hand, right-hand combination as well at the crease for Italy.
And just see how they respond to that. They're putting out that sweeper on the offside.
Yeah, that's a ball. If you'd stayed at home, probably could have gone back and cut it. But it's a premeditated charge, wasn't it?
Well, she did charge a little bit down the leg side as well. Could have got more to the pitch of the ball.
DeLanger with immediate success. So 2 outfielders, pretty much both square of the wicket at the moment. There's a deep mid-wicket, I suppose, just to the left of screen, and there's a deep cover point on the right of screen.
Yeah, hitting with the spin. She'd be hitting to that deep mid-wicket. It's a dangerous fielding position for Bartram. It's a good ball.
Doesn't really come back, but goes on with the arm. And DeLanger's got a few variations.
I wonder if that was a bit of a top spinner.
Yes, pretty clever, I think, with a wrist position. One bounced a bit as well.
It's a good ball.
Bowled around her legs. And so Bartram tries to be proactive, tried to open up that fine leg region, but unfortunately for her, she loses the castle. She goes for a duck, and Italy hitting the skids at 19 for 3.
Yeah, and we say it time and time again, but if you bowl in that spot, the ball is not going to bounce. And so if you're playing across the line, you have to get down low and really track it onto your bat. Amelia Bartram will learn from that experience, no doubt. Disappointing for her that she's now wandering back to the shed to be replaced now by Maha Malagi.
Yeah, so I suppose she doesn't waste any time, Bartram. That's the silver lining. I don't mind she's trying something there. Just gets early in your innings, it's quite difficult to judge, and you're not really settled. Anyway, Maha Malagi will try and pick up the pieces here.
She was kind of caught between a sweep shot and a pull shot, and really not quite
I think
reading the delivery that well.
Steve McVeigh in the chat saying not necessarily the wrong shot, just didn't execute. I probably agree with that. I think it was there, it was short enough to hit, but just got herself in a bit of a muddle. Anyway, DeLanger's now got 2 for none. Well, that's a good ball as well. They'll get through for a single, so here's the contest we wanted to see. Yeah. Regina Sidazai is going to face for the first time. Yeah, she batted so well last night. She scored 28 off 13 and then followed up with 4 for 1. That was a player of the match performance against Gibraltar.
DeLanger's looking dangerous here though, Vinny. She's got her radar on.
Yeah. I think with DeLanger, you're probably just happy to take one off the good balls, and she's normally going to give you 1 or 2 and over that you think you can hit. I think wrist spinners do find it hard to put them all in the right spot. It's well bowled. This will be a wide though, unless she's gotten something on this. Wait for the
legs.
Leg by. Maybe just flicked off the pad then. Yeah, but one thing I really liked about Sudazai's batting is the way she kept her shape last night. She drove really nicely through the offside. She was able to drive along the ground. She had good power as well, but it was technical power. They were good shots. Hit crisply. This one drops, turns into a bit of a Yorker. End of a very good over from Caroline DeLanger. Yeah, the decision to bowl spin in the third turns out to be a very good one. As he only concedes 1, picks up 2 victims, and it's 21 for 3.
That could be a game-changing over there, Vinny. It was a bold move, certainly, but now they've got the luxury of still having that other fast bowler in the shed as the power play comes to an end. You can see what an impact wickets have.
Last over, I mean, say you went for 10 less, and went for 9, which is half of the course, then you're looking at chasing 80, not 90. Makes a big difference, doesn't it? Talked about executing over the whole 10 overs.
Good.
I want to say hello to Leandro Giaraja as well, as watching from Italy. And buonasera, Leandro. He is the oldest person to ever play in the ECS. He played at 74 years of age. He's a former Italian captain.
Sensational.
Very, very good man. Anyway, here we go with Lynch in the 4th. Spin just holding things up. Yeah, so now what's the required rate gone up to? It's gone up to about 10. You kind of need that one boundary and over to keep pace now. I think Regina will be looking for it. They've still kept the offside field pretty much up, except for the deep point. Probably would have been a wide, but again, she misses out. It'll be another leg bite. They're not quite hitting her strap so far with the bat. Lynch. And we saw her last night with the ball as well when they were playing Sweden. Oh, wow, that could be gone, you know. Not so sure. I mean,
I think she kept her foot in.
yeah, that's the question.
Yeah.
Lynch just bowled 1 over last night, 1 for 6. I mean, it's all about, does the foot raise or not? Well, could be trouble, just judging by that. Can she get back in time? Oh, this is going to be so close. I think
Get
she's
it
gone.
down. Oh, it's in the air.
Yeah, she's gone. What a good piece of wicket keeping from Babette Deleda. And there's the decision. It's Mahamalagi who's stumped. And what a great shot of that. Great job from Spring Productions as well. That was always the suspicion, wasn't it, that the toe might have just stayed in the air. She couldn't quite get it back. Top-class cricket from the Dutch. And that's the 4th wicket now, 22 for 4.
These spinners are going to be an absolute weapon for the Netherlands as we see them already having a big impact at this stage of the game. They did it last night as well, and just the consistency with where they deliver it is going to be a big obstacle for the opposing teams to overcome as this tournament goes on.
Brilliant wicket keeping because, I mean, an off spinner you're expecting to turn the other way, but it kind of just went the other way off the pitch than Babette Deleda would have been expecting. But she stays low and she just tracks it all the way, watching the ball really hard into the gloves. Sensational keeping. And I suppose, we got trouble. We got big trouble. Oh,
thrown to the wrong end too.
Just miscommunication there. What I was going to say is, again, wicket keeping important. We saw a couple of stumpings missed in the first innings. Naka had a couple of difficult ones. See, Regina just took her eyes off her partner there, and it was kind of lucky that Delanga couldn't decide where to throw it. It charges, then just a little dab cut. So, I mean, that's okay, but I mean, they need a boundary or two, and they need it pretty quick.
Great sign that she was able to really adjust her shot mid-stroke there, coming down and then reading it a little bit better to play it behind the wicket.
Let's see how attacking Ratnaka is. She's the keeper for Italy. Well, pretty attacking is the answer. But again, Lynch threatens to turn one, doesn't really, and actually has the batters in all sorts in the 4th over. She only concedes 2. And at the end of 4, it's 24 for 4.
Yeah, now Italy are going to have to really have a good chat out there and figure out what their plan for this is. I dare say what they'll need is Sudazaya really to start playing her shots. She looks like the most technically proficient that we've seen thus far.
It's a lot of responsibility for someone who's in their second game, but still, I think she'll enjoy the pressure. Hello to John as well. And yes, I did remember it is your birthday. Hopefully you're enjoying it. And how would you rather spend your night? Wow, that really doesn't bounce. I don't know how Delanga does this. It's almost like she's bowling with a medicine ball. It just does not get up, but pretty good shot.
It's the pitch as well, Vinny. We've seen it time and time again. And what was impressive there is sort of Zaya really getting down low enough for it, not falling into that trap. We've seen so many wickets in the last month.
It's actually quite a remarkable shot, actually, to track that bounce. There's the bad ball. It's going to be a wide.
Yeah, they need to take care of those ones as well. And it's not necessarily just playing a cross-batted shot. They're just tracking it and trying to find the gaps in the field.
And we're bowled again. Oh, almost a run out. It's pressure out there. I love the pressure, though. That's Hannah Landia, who's able to jump on that one, preventing a run. It's an unsettling feeling when you just find yourself in the doldrums and that run rate required. It's creeping up towards 2 a ball now. It's well bowled again.
Yeah, really well bowled.
Oh, that's excellent fielding. Excellent dive, though, from Sudazai gets her home. Oh, good cricket all around. You can see the urgency from Regina to get in. Also, great fielding. It was a pick up and throw in one motion, but Regina gets home. Now let's see what she can do with it.
That great camera work we've got from these lads at Spring Production. Wonderful work as always, capturing all that action. Oof. Yeah, now she doesn't want to overthink this too much and just unnecessarily charge everything just to show the intent. That can also be something that really starts playing mind games with you, thinking, I've got to be aggressive, so it means coming down the pitch. It's not necessarily that. It really has to pick her balls.
Yeah, it's a funny shot. She kind of almost hit it twice.
Yeah.
Just clunked it a little bit. That's still not bad. And DeLunga, now you almost have to eat it. You have to say, look, she's bowled well. Let's just knock it out to her and maybe we can attack somebody else. Unless she gives you something really kind of really gundy, but she doesn't. It's going to be a single, so Sudasai struggling to get going, but she's still there. We're halfway through the innings. It's 28 for 4. And the Dutch, after a few early jitters, have just settled in. Now they're in pole position in this match. And look, Robothon update, I know I'm contractually obligated to give a robot update every night, but it won't let me log into the
just
website
an update
anymore.
on the update. That's all we need.
It's an yeah. The update is we'll come back to you tomorrow. They are shipped. They are somewhere. I should change that to being robots in transit.
They're driving the ship.
They're in transit.
They've taken over the vessel.
So we're hoping to have the robots ready for ECL, which starts on Monday or at some point. See, Lynch is back. I think the spinners have learnt now that the lack of bounce is to their
advantage.
Yeah, to their advantage. It's hard to get under them when they don't bounce that much. Put an extra outfielder back on the leg side now, down at 45.
See, on that occasion, she came down when she didn't necessarily need to.
Yeah.
And
there's an element of
stayed back a
premeditation
little bit,
to it, though. I know what Regina's thinking here. They've got mid-on and mid-off
course.
up in the circle. She wants to get down to the pitch, because if you stay in your crease and the ball doesn't bounce very high, it's very hard to get under it.
Yeah.
But I think Lynch is quite clever. They're pulling the length back a little bit.
Yeah.
This is a high-quality matchup
It
tonight.
really is. Great cricket in front of us. It's an interesting thing as well with the only the 4 fielders allowed out. We haven't seen any twos. We've seen very few doubles taken.
That's the one she wanted to go after, but doesn't quite get it now. He might have trouble.
Look at that fielding.
A direct hit would have been gone. And Naika hustles in for a single. Yeah, that was the one I think Regina wanted, that she wanted to go downtown. Instead, off the outside half of the bat.
Direct hit would have had it.
Great camera work as well from Spring Productions. They even get the ball going backwards sometimes.
Yeah.
Hello to Corey, who just put a robot emoji. Yes, Corey. No news is good news. It won't let me log in anymore. It puts me on this death loop where I log in. It says, please log in.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Shot.
I've seen the death loop. That's what they did do. A little bit of innovative batting, trying to change up the line, play with the bowler's head.
That's the boundary. And it's
And
gone through
find
the
the
rugby
gap.
goals. So in the old days, that'd be 7, 4 for the shot, 3 for the conversion. But anyway, they really needed this as they tried desperately to stay on the pace. Nice shot again. The footwork did it.
Yeah, good work by you. Big hello as well, Corey Rockers. There was Scott Edwards sitting in their lounge room with the Aranya on. Great to know it. And
Well, this is another 4. And look who's getting going. Ratnaka again deals with low full toss. That was all in the placement. So, the Italians, they are fighting. Got plenty of the bat on that one. Quattro, carreras más.
yeah, and that's just a little bit of confidence from the first shot coming into that next one as well.
I do like the fact
Funny
that
what a boundary does.
using their feet. I mean, I know it's a bit hairy. You risk getting stumped if you miss it.
You absolutely need to on this feet. You have to use your feet, but just not all the time unnecessarily.
She does. This time crunches it. That's pretty well fielded out there by Van Bucher. And that will be the end of 6 as decent over from Italy. They are 38 for 4, but still plenty of work to do if they're going to get back in this contest.
Yeah, so what did they get off that over there, Vinny?
Yeah, mate.
As we just come to the end of the 6 over. Just getting all the calculations together, but it was a good over by Italy and just to release the pressure valve a little bit. We can have a look at the bowling figures there. Well, Carolina DeLunga, she's done the damage. Most of all, going at only 2.5 runs and over. It is indeed a tussle out there at the moment, and it's hard going for these Italian batters, but those 2 boundaries in the previous over certainly would help the mindset.
All right, here we go. Well, I'll get one in the end. I'm pretty hesitant to go. But I think the good thing is here, you've got two players at the crease that have been able to hit boundaries in this tournament. I know that Regina Sidazai hasn't really been able to make much happen in this innings, but she's very capable. You've got Van Burker, who is doing the bowling now. She took none for 5 off 1 last night.
Good ball.
Very good ball. That's turned. Turned a lot. Turned too much even for Babette Deleda.
Bounced.
Babette Deleda doesn't miss too much. But
have a look. So not far outside off, and it's really kicked up. And
Yeah.
you've seen that. You put that a couple of inches to the leg side, and it's going to stay low.
Annemijn Van Burker is pretty tall as well, so I think that probably helps.
Shot.
So once she goes after and she gets it, I think that is going to the boundary. 4 runs.
Great
Nika
shot.
having a heater here.
Yeah.
And look, they need kind of 2 boundaries and over, you'd imagine, to stay in this contest. There's one of them.
Yeah, that's great work, and using those feet to great effect, and really challenging the bowler to come up with a something to respond with here.
Yeah, that's the spot I'd be going. They've got 4 outfielders all on the leg side, all 4 on the leg side.
Yeah, so Van Burger doesn't want to get it too much on the offside here. Oh.
Gone now. And went to the well once too often. It's clever bowling by
Yeah.
Van Burker. It just lures her out of the safe zone. And she looks equal parts overjoyed and relieved. That's the end of a good innings from Nika. But she only gets them so far. She goes for 16. It's 44 for 5.
Gee, that's wonderful bowling. Really using the fact that that previous ball, a boundary was hit with a similar delivery, but this time just dropping it back a little bit. And that turn really doing her in. Great keeping once again by Babette Deleda.
Yeah, just class act behind the stumps and with the bat. Anyway.
Good little cameo though.
Yeah, brilliant cameo. I mean, you'd rather do that and then go down swinging than,
Yeah.
than just hang around. Give someone else an opportunity. But yeah, she struck 3 boundaries in her 16. And Van Burker gets her first wicket in T10 international cricket. Camilla Pedrick, the captain, comes out. I don't think that's a bad thing either. Regina, again, just 4 off 12, has struggled to get any fluency in this innings. It's the slower bowlers that have just
Really
caused her a few problems.
put a stranglehold on, haven't they?
Here's Pedrick on strike then. 20 balls left in this match. Well bowled. Push and run. They'll get there. Well, overthrows were an early star for Italy, but this time they don't get any overthrows. Pedrick off the mark. Now, Sudasai, really, this is where the rubber hits the road for her. It's tough against a bowler that is spinning it so much, so if you don't really get to the pitch of it, it's hard to imagine you get the middle of the bat on it. But I think she's got the power to clear the boundaries. Last ball of the 7th coming up.
Shot.
Yeah, shot, but guess what? She's picked out
Found
the
the
fielder.
fielder.
Yeah, and so it's nicely done on the boundary. This will be the end of the 7th over, and it's 46 for 5. Don't forget, more cricket coming up tonight, and match 4 is not too far away. It's going to start in around about 40 minutes. It's Gibraltar versus Sweden. Well, I don't know whether some supercomputers watching last night, but I think if either team gets into the 60s, they'll be happy. Having said that, I mean, I think this will be a lot more of an even contest. Gibraltar and Sweden, who are going to do battle. And look, one of them will get their first points in the tournament, so stay tuned for that. Just 2 matches a night at the moment. But occasionally we get a bonus, like tomorrow night, where we'll have 3 matches, the same on Friday. So,
Yeah, shaping out to be a really quality tournament here, Vinny.
Yeah,
We've
sure
seen
is.
some great cricket so far. I'm glad we've got 3 matches tomorrow to really sink our teeth into.
here's Overdyke getting a bowl. Starts with a wide, but that makes it 44 off 18. So about 15 and over. You need a big over from somewhere. And to give you a bit of context, so far, the biggest over we've had is 10. We've had that a couple of times. So you need a big one. But they have gone back to pace. And Sudasai looked pretty comfortable against pace yesterday.
Yeah, certainly backward of point. I think that's our region.
There he goes. Plays a very late cut, but there's a fielder waiting for that. That's Landier. Just a single. So, yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting one. I think Sweden probably start favourites, I think, based on what we saw last night. But, I mean, Gibraltar, I mean, just speak to their captain, Elizabeth Ferrari. She admitted, look, a lot of the girls were very nervous. That showed a little bit.
Big
But
moment.
they also had a lot of positive things last night in their game against Italy. It's well bowled. A little bit of late movement there for Overdyke.
A little bit of late movement. I think she won't be so happy with how full it was. Certainly was drivable, but
yeah, it was a full toss in the end, but Pedrick couldn't deal with the outswing. I just feel this drifting away at the moment for Italy. Again, those 10 runs extra that they can see in the last over coming back to bite them. Goes after this though, and this will help. That's out of here. Maximo! Now step up the captain, and a couple more of those, and this game's going to square up very, very quickly. Overdyke, not the worst ball ever, but this is a sign of the power of Kamudu.
yeah, much better length on that occasion, but just a little bit too wide, and really good work by Kamudu to get that front foot really as far to the pitch of the ball as she could and hit through the line.
Yeah,
Great shot.
Nobody back on the offside, except for the third man. Now this will be a no ball. And it's going to be a no ball for a high waist high or higher delivery. So yeah, free
she
hit
would have
coming up.
loved to have made contact with that.
That would have been a bonus. I mean, they've got the deep fine leg back, so I don't know if she would have got 4 or 6. But anyway, Pedrick can now get ready for a free hit. I'd love to see her to keep her shape. Doesn't have to overswing here. Bit wide, so she'll get that one again. But yeah, Overdyke just struggling a little bit with the control. We didn't see her in the lineup last night. Hey, the robots in the chat saying massive credit needs to go to the team's coaches. They have prepped these teams really well. They're super organised in the field. Agree with that. The fielding's been great. They're hitting a lot of balls at the players. They're really getting them feeling more confident. Again, not easy conditions here. It normally gets a bit frosty. It's very salty.
Yeah, not tonight though. Tonight's the least salty evening we've had, Vinny.
Still on a free hit here. Slower ball, hit, and hit for 4. Good batting. And is this the over where Italy come back into the contest? They needed something big at the moment. The captain delivering.
Yeah, and what was great about that from Kamudu Pedrick is she really waited upon it. She was in shape to play that shot, and the pace just coming off it a little bit. She did work really well to wait and find a gap all the way to the right. 4 more runs.
Forced the field change with long on going back. Means the fine leg comes up into the circle. You can just reminding everyone, Frederick is a world record holder. Yes, 7 for 3.
Yeah,
against
4
France.
overs. Yeah,
7 for 3. Ever taken a 7 for?
No, and I doubt I ever will.
You're only a young man. Here we go. Oh,
Good
that's
ball.
well bowled. That's right where she wanted it to be. Last ball coming up. See, I'm not a great reader of facial expressions, but I think I'm confident to say she's not exactly thrilled with how this over's gone, Frederick.
Quite self-discerning, isn't she, at the moment?
Well, Egan was the scorer for that game. Well, it sounds like you were busy, Egan.
Yeah.
At least he'd be able to spell Overdyke. Last ball coming up. They've got what they need off this over. They'd love a bonus, though. Big swing and a miss.
Gosh,
But
it
anyway,
was really there for the hitting as well, wasn't it?
They get 14 off that over, so it keeps them in the conversation. It's the end of the over, and the score is 60 for 8. Don't forget, I'm mentioning those 2 teams playing Gibraltar and Sweden. Here's the lineups. You can see Ferrari listed there at the top of the lineup. Sally Barton took a couple catches behind the stumps. I've got to say that we saw quite a few bowls for Gibraltar, and I think they'll be better for the run as well. Yanira Blagg, she impressed me last night. Neve Robeson as well, I think picked up a wicket. For Sweden, I think their captain, Gudjan Shukla, she is tough as nails. And she was saying, yeah, look, I caught one in the collarbone last night, but I'm not going to show my team.
Got another one?
Yeah, I'm not going to show my team it would hurt.
Yeah.
I think Ravuri was very good for them as well in the field and did some good things. Yeah, that game coming up in around about 35 minutes now. Van Burkert to bowl the 9th. Regina steps and drives, doesn't pick the gap. Pretty close together. I hope it's all right here. Was this a collision?
Could have been.
That's a nasty one. Wow.
That is colours as well. There might be a run out.
Well, this is what's happened here. I mean, I took my eyes off the middle, so I didn't even know there was a chance to run out. You can see they kind of stop.
Yeah, Pedrick wants it.
Oh, no. And, yeah, Pedrick is going to be run out here, I'm pretty sure. Maybe camera 3 if we got it. Yeah. So, yeah. Camera 1 more time then. And, yeah, that's what we were focused on. So, we'll have to see what the final decision is here.
Yeah, not sure what the soft call is from the umpire, if there is one. And also not to let it be lost amidst all that. But hopefully Stericallis is okay. Yeah, it's been given out. There we go. So it looked pretty ominous once both batters were up there at one end of the pitch. And good thinking as well. I'm not quite sure who the fielder was who picked it up and had it in, but good work to get it to that end. Certainly the one that was going to have the biggest impact. And there it is, a wicket.
Oh, such a disappointing end, though, isn't it, to an innings that had really hit Italy back into the contest. Now it's Batagoda who's coming in. There was a bit of carnage all over the place. I mean, the two fielders collided. That's where my eyes went. I think probably Regina's eyes went there as well. I mean, Pedrick, probably what she doesn't do right there is she wasn't looking at Regina. If she saw Regina wasn't watching, she wouldn't have gone for that second run.
And we've seen that a couple of times, and that's good lessons for all the players involved, but we've seen it with Regina a couple of times.
Yeah.
One run-out chance and then one that actually was taken.
Yeah, it's just a little thing. Keep your eyes on your partner. Get a sense of where the ball is, but watch your partner. Yeah, it's not a bad shot to get going from Batagoda. She gets one. So now what are we talking? We're talking 29 off 10. So, yeah, to give you an idea, if you can hit a string of sixes, then it gets within grasp.
Yeah, Van Boeg has been really good here as well.
It's now or never really for Regina. Yeah, just checks her shot. Wasn't confident about going through with it.
But that's the challenge of T10 cricket, isn't it? That was a really, really well done in a cricketing sense. Coming down, reading it, and then just playing defensively on the onside, but on the offside. But yeah, a challenge in this format to make something out of nothing.
Hello to Roma Campanelli Cricket Club in the chat. Cheering on Kamudu. Yeah, why not? Pins her ears back. And how far will this run? Probably one. Took a long time to get going there. Just be a single.
Lightning sharp fielding as well. Look at the pick up and release.
Yeah, this is where, as soon as I get something that she can come down to, I don't think she can afford to check her shot anymore. I think you just got to go for it, and if you get out, so be it.
Yeah.
Because it's out of control now, 27 off 8.
But that's the mentality, isn't it? She would have grown up playing cricket where that's not what you do. But in this format, you must.
And kind of clunks it. Must be out if it hits. Misses. Just a single. That doesn't hurt Netherlands too much. I mean, one thing I really like, Netherlands, they've been pushed tonight. I mean, you could even argue for the first part of this innings, Italy probably ahead in the contest. But those good middle over bowlers, the slower bowlers bringing Netherlands back into the contest, and now the pace bowlers. And a combination of pace and spin finishing off for them. This will be a dot. So into the ninth for Van Berker. Pretty good job from her. 1 for 12 off her 2 overs. It's 65 for 6 after 9.
Yeah, there we go. And that's going to leave it with 26 runs off 6 balls to get. It is a very tall order.
It is. It's tall as some of the Dutch players.
That's what you'd call beyond the point of no return.
Yeah, I would say that. But in the last over, you can forget everything. I mean, a lot of things going to happen here. A couple of 5 wides or something like that. Thing is, look who's coming back. Iris Svilling. And I can't see her giving too many away.
Yeah.
I mean, just when I was down there in the halftime break, watching the Netherlands bowlers warm up, they were getting it through.
Yeah.
You know, like they were.
Push it through. Now, it was in the 3rd over that Carolina de Lange came in. Is that correct?
Yeah, 3rd over.
So this is really why they've done that, to hold Iris Svilling here for this.
And that worked out great because there were only 2 off that 3rd over, and there were 2 wickets.
Yeah.
All right, time to rock and roll. Iris has already become one of the more popular players on the European Cricket Network, just judging by some of the feedback I'm seeing. A lot of people like what she's bringing to the table. Let's rock in over number 10, 26 for Italy. And it starts with the dot. So this is probably also a bit of a reality check for Regina. Everything she's touched has gone to gold so far. Yeah. Look, you're going to have these games where it doesn't really work, but right now it's Svilling. She's dealing.
Yeah, she's still out there though.
Yeah. Might be still out there. He pretty much needs 5 boundaries off these next 5 balls. Yeah, again, can't really have a go at it. And,
that's good tight bowling.
Yeah, this is the thing. It's very hard to train yourself out of not wanting to get out. And this is a situation where even if you're not quite there, you kind of got to go through with it. But anyway, Regina's kindly agreed to do some commentary with me.
Yeah, you can come and talk to her about it.
While you have some dinner.
Yeah,
I won't be giving her too much coaching. I think that she's doing pretty well on her own.
She might be able to give you some, Vinny.
I think so.
How to take hat tricks.
This will be wide. Have you ever taken a hat trick?
No. Not only in backyard cricket.
Yeah, I took one
Plenty
when
of them.
took one when I was 15, and I stopped bowling when I was 18, so
Yeah.
pretty much will never do that again. But it's a thrilling feeling, I'll tell you that much. I've never taken 2 hat tricks in an innings, though, like Uma Tariq did. Hello to Muthu Kumaran. We're calling him the GOAT at the moment in Malta. Shot. So I'll take some fielding. Lynch out there.
Yeah, no, my best bowling figures were, I got 5 for 13.
Hey!
Yep.
There you
Every
go.
bowling leg spin, every single one caught at square leg.
There you go. It's the hot zone. Anyway, Zwilling, the hot zone as well. Couple to come here. Bringing the heat. Goes after it. Well handled. Oh, the airmail
Have a
throw
look at that arm.
to later. Good stuff. Yeah, Netherlands. Yeah, they've been pushed tonight. I think it's good for them as well. Yeah, we'll see them in match 5. First up tomorrow. Yeah, so, yeah, Regina. Very, very interesting character. And so she'll be doing a bit of commentary with me at the start of the next match. There you go. Bit of short stuff.
Certainly there for the hook as well. Just a little bit too quick, perhaps.
Zwilling's got a
Really push that through.
history of playing a lot of men's cricket as well, holding her own or better.
Absolutely.
So, that's great experience, isn't it? Anyway, last ball coming up. Italy, let's see if they can get something, maybe get into the 70s. Patagoda on strike. Oh, they will get... Oh, is this off the... Wow, it's gone. I'm not so sure about that one, but...
Bit of glove.
Richie says, yeah, it's come off the glove. Camera 2. But well, regardless, it's not going to change the narrative too much. It's a pretty competitive game here in match 3. It'll be 90 to 69. Yeah, for me, I thought it hit the pad of the flap of the pad, but Zwilling, well, she'll be happy. She's got a lot of fans out there. Maybe Richie's one of them. But anyway, it is the end of 10, 69 for 7. Italy, they're brave, but they can't quite match it for the full 20 overs of this contest. Sudazai looks despondent as she walks off. She wasn't able to do too much. 10 on out, she finished. Ratnayaka, again, getting stumped at a key time after hitting 3 boundaries. The captain, Pedrick, well, she was run out in disastrous fashion. This is what's coming up. We've got Gibraltar, Sweden. We're half an hour away from that. Sweden winning the toss and electing to bowl. Let's roll the highlights and have a look. And it started with typical ECN chaos, really. We saw Zwilling, he got drilled almost for 6 first ball. Then we had the 4 overthrows. But yeah, they really made the most of the first couple of overs. And then this innings really did hit the skids, didn't it, Joe?
Yeah, it really did. Just as soon as they made the breakthrough, it seemed like more would come. This was a great change as well, bringing in DeLunga in the 3rd over. And she managed to pick up 2 quick wickets for not very many.
Yeah, and fielding's important, isn't it? I mean, also locating the ball, which DeLunga did there. Bartram tried to get funky. Unfortunately, she didn't stick around too long. Got to say that was a smart piece of work from Babette DeLader, who's been brilliant with the gloves. Just was able to get the bails off before the toe came down. Also, I like the hustle here. I mean, Regina didn't really go her way with the bat, but there was 100% effort. Yeah, Italy just kind of fell off the boil a little bit, but see, the fielding from both sides tonight I think was outstanding. That's why you've got 2 double-digit scores. There's some late hitting from Ratnayaka and Pedrick, but they both departed in unfortunate fashion, and that just meant it was a bridge too far for the Azzurri.
Yeah, absolutely, and that is how it all came about, as at the end of the day, Sudazaya just could not quite find the...
Well, this was a crazy one. It was a run-out after a collision, and no one saw what was going on. I think Kamuta was the only person that was oblivious to the collision, but he ended up getting run out, as we see the airport runway there. Once few people have mentioned that forms a fair percentage of the country.
Yeah, can you see your hotel there, Vinny? I can see it. There it is.
Somewhere there. Don't say what room, though. Anyway, 16 Ratnayaka top scores, but she got stumped at a key moment in the chase. 13 from Sharon Witnagi at the top before she nicked off for the 2nd consecutive night. Pedrick fought hard for 11. Regina couldn't really get going, 10 not out. And just looking at the extras, well, not too bad. 7 wides and a no ball. They probably want a couple less than that, Netherlands, but still, it was good enough to hold on by 21 runs. 2 for 5, DeLunga was the star and changed the course of this innings. Bowled really well, and it has a few little variations which are hard to pick. Singles for Zwilling, Van der Woning, as well as Eva Lynch and Annemine van Burger. It was just overdone. They've got a little bit of tap, but I'm sure we'll see a bit more of her before the rest of this series is over.
Absolutely, we will. And I think that's a really good lesson for everyone involved there. Good experience. The Italian batters certainly would have learned a few things about how to go about moving your feet and hustling between the wickets. I think they let themselves down a couple of times tonight with just not keeping the eye on the partner and having the good communication. So that's what's happened, Vinny.
Guys, put the coffee on. It's going to be a late one, but we will be back in 25 minutes, and it will be Gibraltar versus Sweden. Gibraltar on the rack first after getting sent in. Joe, I know you're going to grab some dinner. I'll be back, and I will have Regina Siddlesite with me for the first half of that next game. So get your questions ready for Regina. Vinny Sandu here, Mr. Maximo with Joe Wigasani. We'll see you just around the corner for more FanCode ECIW Gibraltar. Hello and welcome back to the Europa Point Stadium right here in Gibraltar time for match 4. It's the last match of the night as well. Well, two teams that couldn't get on the board last night. One of them will tonight, and it's going to be Gibraltar, the hosts, taking on Sweden. Tyrone Peters has the two captains. Let's see who wins the coin toss.
Welcome to the second game for the evening between Gibraltar and Sweden. Sweden will call. There's your heads.
Yep.
That's tails.
Tails.
Tails the call. And it is a tail.
Oh, we will hold first. Again.
So Gunjan Shukla of Sweden, she wins the toss and she has elected to bowl first, same as last night. So she's been pretty lucky with the tosses. Look, both these teams, they struggled with the stick last night, but let's be honest, they faced some opposition that kind of outclassed them and put them under pressure. They lost their top order and really no one was able to get them to a respectable score. But that means they're both in the same boat, really. And I think that Shukla will be pretty happy with bowling first, so she'll know exactly what she needs to do in the second half. I think that Gibraltar, they're relying on the captain, Elizabeth Ferrari. I'd like to see her probably again at the top of the order. You'd imagine she might bat 3, but Gibraltar, I think anything plays here, considering Sweden didn't get a decent score last night, so they just need to work hard. And I think, yeah, the team that keeps their cool will have the upper hand in this match. Let's go up to the commentary box now and get ready for the first ball. The news from the toss is that Sweden, they've won the toss and they're going to bowl first. Desperate for their first points in this series. Gibraltar being inserted by the Swedish skipper, Gunjan Shukla. And yeah, Sweden, I think, so they had their moments last night, but they weren't able to go toe-to-toe with the Netherlands. Have a look at the two teams, and Shukla batting 4 for Sweden. They might have a few changes there. Catherine Badarin comes in, and that's another bowling option for the Swedes. Ella Gunula looked pretty good behind the stumps for me as well. Some good fielding from Ravuri in there. I think she did some good things. Rahaja looked like she could hit some boundaries, but none of these teams getting really anywhere near a competitive score last night. That could change tonight. Ferrari is important with the bat and the ball for Gibraltar, leading the side. And yeah, apart from that, there wasn't much to write home about, though. I did like some of the bowling we saw last night. And yeah, Gibraltar, yeah, certainly look good in patches. Sweden 5-run favourites according to the bat versus ball wall. But yeah, Yanira Blagg 1 for 19. Robeson with 1 for 13 for Gibraltar last night. But you can see Gibraltar scored 27. Sweden scored 44. So not exactly great numbers, but the only way is up for these two teams as we get ready for the start of match 4. Players are out there, ready to go. Got to say the kits in this competition have been very, very good. Gibraltar in their red and black, and Sweden rocking a bit of yellow in their kit as well. And looks like that is Rosaline Riley who's opening the batting for Gibraltar. And again, the problem was no one could really get going. Top score was 4 for Gibraltar. Riley made a 7-ball duck, batting 4. And I just think that it'll be a bit of a test for both these teams to overcome the nerves. I mean, saw a bit of that last night. I think it's going to be Amy Valverde on strike. Well, she did stick around a little bit last night. She made 4 or 15 before she was run out. But Sweden, I think they've got some interesting bowling options to call on. I think we are going to see Harriet Champto, who is going to get things underway. So, nice to have your company wherever you're watching from around the world. And just waiting for the clock to tick over to 9:30 local. So, yeah, put another pot of coffee on and stay with us. But, yeah, just looking at Champto last night. She went for a few, took 1 for 30, but yeah, it was pretty difficult against the Netherlands. The openers put on 100 plus. All right, ready, steady, let's go, says Richie Cunningham. Match 4 live from Gibraltar. And first one pretty well pitched. I tell you what, as far as follow-throughs go, Champto, she's no chance of going to the danger area. I think she almost goes backwards. Anyway, it works. I think, yeah, accuracy super important. Almost a moonwalking follow-through from Haria. Oh, nice shot down the ground. It was a bit risky. It got over the bowler. And Amy Valverde gets her first run. I like the enthusiasm out there. A lot of noise from the sidelines. Good crowd turning out to support the Gibraltarians. I suppose, yeah, you're not concentrating on pace. The most important thing is the release and making sure it's going the right direction. Line and length so important. So over to Rosaline Riley. And she'd be desperate to get a run or two here. Well, it's called a wide. Bit of a harsh call from Richie, but he's a no-nonsense kind of umpire. Doesn't wipe the smile off Chamto's face. One thing I've really liked about this tournament is everyone's having fun. Even if it's not going your way on the field, it's a great opportunity to shine a light on women's cricket in Europe. Off a length. I've liked the running between the wickets here as well. You have to take some calculated risks and go on the hit. And really force them to make the play. And so that's nice work from Riley. She gets her first run. Couldn't quite manage one last night. That was the start of bigger things. That's well bowled again. Get the long on back, so they'll get another single. This is good. You just have the feeling this has got low-scoring thriller written all over it. And you got two teams that couldn't quite crack the half-century last night. Yeah, they probably both bowl better than they bat. So everyone, grab a hat and keep it on. That's good stuff again. Bit of tip and run, bit of ticky-taka, as Rico Full would say. As Riley doubles their score. So yeah, this is, I think, smart cricket. If you know you're probably not going to bludgeon boundaries, if that's not your game, at least try to avoid getting dotted up multiple times. You see 4 singles in this first over. That's well bowled. You can see there. Valverde just tries to go a little bit across the line. One thing I'll say about Chamto, she's bowled a really good over here. She hasn't bowled a bad ball. In fact, that will be the end of the first over. So 5 without loss. Pretty strong start. So, well, it was a golden day yesterday in Malta, but now we've got 8 matches without a golden ball. You know why? Because the cricket just keeps on coming. That's just over 24 hours. We've had 8 matches. Had 2 of them here, or 3 of them if you include the last one. Rico, he's definitely on the honey and lemon over there. He was losing his mind during that golden ball. It was an insane one. Here we go with over number 2. And it's the captain, Shukla. Wow, nice piece of fielding, but Shukla couldn't get the return throw. Again, fortune favours the brave. Riley gets through for another run. Now, I do have a guest commentator in the box. Wait for after this ball. This is someone I did ask a little bit earlier tonight to have a conversation with me during this game. Bowled! And what a good piece of bowling from Shukla. The captain just keeps on delivering. Valverde couldn't deal with this. And Shukla, well, she's got to be careful with the 5s because she did get a busted collarbone last night. You'd never know it. She's hard as nails. She comes up with the first wicket of match number 4. You'd see there no real footwork from the batter. But again, so far Sweden delivering with the ball. I think all the deliveries we've seen have pretty much been where they wanted them. So disappointment for Valverde. She goes for 2. And it's 6 for 1. New bat coming to the crease is Christine McNally. We saw her opening last night. She was bowled by Camilla Pedrick, the Italian skipper, for just 1. So she'll be hoping to stick around a little bit longer. Anyway, before we go any further, I want to say a big warm welcome to the first ever women's T10 international wicket taker. And I think star of the game so far, it's Regina Sudasai. And Regina, welcome to the commentary box.
Thank you so much for having me. It's very exciting being up here.
I'm excited that you're here. And firstly, congratulations again tonight for a couple of wickets.
Thank you, thank you. It's a good game.
Yeah, it's a good game. I know it probably didn't all go the way that you wanted. Anyway, we'll just wait for this ball. McNally faces up for the first time. Does well, but not too keen on the run this time. It's well bowled once again. as many balls hitting the stumps as possible, I think is pretty smart. And one person that is very good at hitting the stumps is the young lady next to me, Regina. More about that in a second. Oh, close. Oh. Camera 1, then camera 4. I actually think this might have been just shaping down leg side, but it's super close. And I'll tell you something else. The umpire, I reckon if we got time for this, go full speed. Look at his hands here. He gets itchy hands. Oh, he says no, but then he moved his finger. That's what I thought. Nice shot, but straight at the field and no run. Yeah, Regina. Oh, that's a nasty one. Camera 1. Yeah. I hope the captain's all right there, Shukla. Oh, this has just bounced up on the rebound off her hand. And I hope this hasn't done any damage. Yeah, full speed till it comes back to her. She is so tough. Tell you what, this, it's a nasty one off the knee. And she wants to continue, but they're just going to hold her up for a second, make sure she's okay. So, Regina, give us a chance to chat about your kind of performance so far. How's the week been for you?
It's been very exciting. It's been full of emotions, I can't lie. The week has started off a bit strange. We actually don't have our kit at the moment. Both
Yes,
myself,
that's right. That's what I heard as well.
Both myself and Amelia Bartram, we're missing our cricket kit at the moment. Where it is, I hope it will come today. I think we've had news it might come today.
I don't know. Maybe maybe you better hope it's lost because he's been playing really well. Had a great last night. Bowled well both nights. Tonight was one of those frustrating nights, wasn't it, where you just couldn't quite get too many out the middle.
No.
This is going down the leg side with the angle. It'll be the end of the over, so it's 7 for 1 after 2 overs. And not a bad over from the captain, Shukla, even though she got a bump on the head. That won't bother her. Yeah, so talk to me. I mean, tell us a little bit about how you got into cricket and what's your journey been so far. Because you're not even 18 yet, right? You turn 18 this year?
I turn 18 in June. So it's very exciting to be here. I'm very, very honoured to get to play for Italy. I've played when I was really, really young. Me and my brother in the garden. My family is a very cricketing family.
Yeah.
My dad's side is all Kashmiri. Pakistani, so they all play a lot of cricket.
Sure.
We've been involved, and my dad, he's been a coach since I can remember. So
I was going to say, you're sitting there second on the table at the moment. I know you went out down to Netherlands earlier today, but I think you guys gave it a real shake against the Dutch. And it's going to be Vaidya to bowl. This one doesn't get off the pitch. Yeah, so obviously, but you're playing for Italy, but you have grown up in England. So
yes.
How do you get to play for Italy? What's the qualification there?
My granddad is Italian on my mother's side. He's Italian. I've had an Italian passport since I was a baby. So
pretty useful, because I've got a British passport. You know what that's worth these days in Europe? Not
quite
much.
That's true.
All right, they've got a good fielder in there, just about kind of 3/4 way around the pitch, so just stopping that single. So Gibraltar, they got it ticking in the first over, but it's kind of been a bit tough since then. Vaidya's bowled pretty well in this series as well. Yeah, so that's the rules, isn't it? You've got an Italian passport, you don't play for Italy.
You play for Italy,
I think you're a great influence on the rest of the group as well, based on what I've seen.
Thank you.
Again, not getting a run. Oh, we've got trouble here. Yeah, well, they get back. And I think that McNally kind of knows that she needs to get a bit of a head start. So she's kind of being proactive here, calls up and then runs into a stop sign. Yeah, and I think the bowler had to get a bit close to the stumps. Might have affected a run out there. And the pull, that fielder's going to have sore hands, I think, at the moment. That's Asina Ludell. Yeah, so I'm going to ask you in a minute, what was last night? Last night must have been a magical night for you. I mean, you've come to another country. You've been picked for your first ever international game. This one probably would have been a wide. It's a no ball, actually. Camera 3, please. I think this is a no ball for height because, again, Riley's not the tallest. So anything waist high or above, yeah, it's a good call. So anyway, we've got a free hit. I love free hits.
Yeah, I do love a good free hit.
You know that I retired just pretty much as they were bringing that in, so I've never faced one.
Oh, wow.
I want to have the feeling of immunity that a free hit brings. Anyway, swing away. In fact, you get another one here. And this will be a wide. Yeah, so last night might have been a magical night. What were the emotions like? Hitting your 20-odd, getting the hat-trick, getting 4 wickets in your first game for Italy. Must have been amazing.
Absolutely crazy. I mean, I can say I have an international hat-trick now, which is a very cool thing to get to say. I never thought I'd get to say it. So.
And on TV broadcast globally, with millions of viewers having seen it.
I have proof. It's been...
Well, this is going to be 5 up, and I think this is going to be a no ball for off the pitch. Although I don't know where did it bounce past the stumps? It bounced past the stumps, so I think that might actually be 5 wides. Anyway, good wheels. But this is just outswing gone mad because the wind's going the other way tonight. It's actually one of the more nice. You and I have been here for 2 of the nicest nights weather-wise in Gibraltar. Just ask Joe and some of the Blue crew that have been here. They've been pelted by rain, wind, everything else, salt.
We had the slight rain yesterday.
Yeah, just a little bit.
That's all right.
That's not actually rain.
Is that not?
You're going to get sideways rain here sometimes. Yeah, so I mean, what did it feel like when your head hit the pillow last night? You must have been feeling pretty good.
I don't think my head really was able to hit the pillow. I was too excited to sleep. The adrenaline was everywhere. Absolutely crazy. I come from a very cricketing kind of community, so.
It's not a bad shot. Goes on the hit, has to hustle, gets there. Just the single. Probably would have been a wide, actually, but gets bat on ball. So, yeah, is this the first time, for example, you've gone away on like a cricket tour? Or
yes, yeah, very much so, yeah. I mean, and what a place to come to for my first cricket tour, I have to say. Broadcasted cricket, I can't ask for more. But it's been very exciting. I mean, the whole experience as well. I'm very blessed that the women are so nice on the team, and Prabhat is a wonderful coach, and Lorena is very homely.
I know quite a few of them. I've actually gone to Italy a number of times to cover cricket.
They're absolutely
I know
wonderful.
Prabhat and Lorena really well, coach and manager your team. I know there's a few Roma CC girls in there
Yes,
as well.
there are. Yes,
I
indeed.
covered the Italian T20 domestic final a couple of years ago. Love it. And so, yeah, we'd love to see you popping up maybe in Italy from time to time. As we get to the end of the power play, it is 15 for 1 after 3. So what do you think this does for women's cricket in Europe to have this kind of exposure?
This is massive. I mean, the standard can only go up from here. It can't go anywhere else. So having this exposure, it's going to really encourage girls to know that it's out there and people are playing, and just go out and have a bit of fun. I mean, T10 tournament, I never thought I'd get to play in one. So getting the opportunity to do so is incredible.
Well, we're happy to have you. Summer Shaker starts with a wide. I've noticed there's a bit of a trend. It's not just women's cricket. The first ball can be a little bit tough to get it online. You didn't seem to have that problem. You seem to be on target most of the time. I'll say hello to Joey Marples in the chat. Also, I've asked for questions in the chat, so people are live chatting right now. So any questions for Regina, please put them through on the chat. ECN European Cricket Network. Mostly they're just congratulations so far. Might read a few of those out. Better from Summer Shaker. But that field has been really important there, and so no run. So yeah, John saying well done, saying can be very proud of your performance so far. Congratulations. And yeah, Dave, Kitty Hundley, everyone having pretty much the same opinion. They've enjoyed watching you.
Thank you very much.
A lot of people can't believe you're not 18 yet. I'm going to ask you a question about that in a second. As this is driven, but again straight to the fielder, so no run. So yeah, is that a big deal to turn 18, or to you? It's not. Are you still in high school? I was going to ask you this.
Yes, I'm in
so
my final year.
High school this year?
It's my last year. I'm missing school currently for this, so my teachers, they might be watching, but they're not very happy with it.
I actually think you've had a few. All your classmates have been watching. They've been in the chat as well.
They very much so have.
It's a nice looking shot. This is going to be a boundary. It's the first one of the innings. Riley gets one away, and the crowd goes wild. There's a full toss. Summer Shaker won't be happy with that. Riley, well, she will be. And look, this is the thing. Obviously, you've got the 4 teams here. You've got wildly different experience levels, and a few teams are in different places. Gibraltar, I mean, they are really at the start of their international journeys. But even just those little highlights, they mean so much. You could hear the crowd go crazy there.
Yeah, it's good to have a bit of support in your kind of first proper
comeback ball. That's no run. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. One thing I think you'll really enjoy, and we know this from all of the cricket we've done, where opponents come together, but there's a real community feel. I mean, the cricket I played, you'd never, it was kind of more like war. And this is great because I think you guys will all learn from each other. You learn a lot from some of the more experienced players, even the ones on the other team, and really, you're all just having a great time. That's what it looks like. A little pull again. I'll get runs here. Probably just the one. And so, yeah, Gibraltar getting going. They've almost reached what they got last night in that first game. They reached 27. Yeah, so you're missing school.
Yes, I am. It's not great. I have mock week next week, so have been trying to revise on the side of the pitch.
You're getting a lesson in the University of Life at the moment. This one comes back a little bit off the pitch, hit hard, hit straight to the fielder. With the end of the over, there's something to crow about for the Gibs. They get a boundary, and it's 21 for 1 after 4. So tell us what your plans are after you leave high school then. What's the next step?
Well, hopefully I'll still be with Italy. We've got the Div 2 European qualifiers in June. Hopefully, if we get through that, which I have faith in our team, we could.
Yeah.
Division 1 qualifiers are in September, and from there, I guess it's just trying to pick up as much cricket as I can. And I'm taking a gap year, 100%. Just to pursue a bit of cricket, live a bit of life.
Gap year, hey?
Yeah, just to try and find out what I
We're
want to do.
always on the lookout for commentary talent, Regina. How'd you fancy getting around Europe?
I
Maybe
wouldn't
calling
mind
some
that
games?
at all.
What do you
Wouldn't
think,
mind
guys, in the chat?
If I get fancy seats like you, I'd happily do it.
Well, I don't know. I think you'd pull it off better than me. But, yeah, well, it looks like we could have found one here. Anyway. Yes, please. Here we go. Start of a new over. And this is Surya Ravuri. We might have a chance here. This is going to be run out. Fantastic fielding. And what Sweden just keep on pulling these out, the direct hits. It was a brilliant one from side on. And so, yeah, disappointment for Gibraltar. You can't really blame them. I've said it all week. If you're struggling to get boundaries, you've got to take on the infield. And you can see here, right, he makes good contact. But the throw comes in, and yeah, much as she tries, she's not going to get there. It's gone probably a metre or so. But yeah, hit the stumps. You're going to have a good time. Good innings, though, from Riley. But Rosaline's going to have to go for 9. And Gibraltar lose a second wicket. It's 21 for 2. And really, you know, fielding's so important. That's probably something you've noticed so far in this form of the game.
100%. Just watching the field and making sure you're backing up, throws are direct. I think that's probably key. You probably win the game most of the time in the field, so it's definitely key. And you can see the team's really, really working on that. That's one thing that's what they're working on. I think that's probably the difference between the teams as well. So
we saw you guys, you're just in front of us earlier, doing your warm-ups and playing all sorts of games and having a lot of fun. There seems to be a really good team spirit.
100%. Oh, it's one of the happiest teams I've been in.
Well, Lagaya comes in. Swing and a miss. Just playing away from the body a little bit. So, yeah, brilliant piece of fielding. Everyone's pretty impressed. And guess who? It's Gunjan Shukla, who took 2 very good catches last night. She's tough as nails, but such a sweet person, actually, Gunjan. This one was a keeper killer, but it'll be a wide. Yeah, so, yeah, no, I'm super excited to cover this tournament. It's probably one of the highlights that I've had, and I've done a lot of cricket on ECN. And obviously one of the things that we would like to do in the longer term, again, it's always kind of incrementally improving. It's probably a wide, yeah, grabs over the line, is we'd like to do an ECC, which is the Euros of cricket. So this year we've got, in September and October, the men's teams, we have 30 countries.
Oh, wow.
30 countries coming together over 4 weeks in Khartoum in this format. Moon ball, little inside edge, gets past the keeper. The Gaya will get off the mark. Yeah, so they play in groups of 5. There'll be 6 groups of 5. They'll play 3 days each, and each group winner goes through to the finals week, and there's a 6-team championship week. And so last year the Netherlands won it. The year before, and England 11 won it. It was the best English amateur players that played.
Wow.
So that's something we would like to do for women as well in the not too distant future. This is a well pitched from Ravuri. I'm really impressed with Ravuri. She seems to be able to be fairly accurate and also always giving 100% in the field. Yeah, so that's something we'd like to do. I mean, obviously, European women's club cricket, probably not as many teams as the men's at the moment. It's probably a little bit behind, but once we have a bit more numbers there, we'd love to do an ECL, which is the Champions League of European cricket. It's a good shot, this one. Really good shot from Lagaya. I think a 2, it'll just be a long single. Yeah, so I mean, it must be exciting to see what's happening with women's cricket in the world. I mean, we're not the exception. It's the direction that the cricket world's going. It's long overdue, and we're just super happy to cover some T10 cricket.
No, it's very exciting. Women's cricket, I definitely think, is growing immensely, so it's very exciting to see the direction it's going in.
Yeah, well, you're coming in at a good time. Let's pull the over. Not a bad shot. We've got miscommunication. Bowler's got to find it, and it's going to be run out. That's a really good effort from the batter, from McNally, but she's going to be run out here. I think they might want to have a look at this, but it's actually good work all round. I mean, she's called through by her partner. He doesn't seem particularly convinced about it, but look at Ravuri. She grabs it and then quickly underarms it onto the stumps. So this is going to be another wicket. Desperate dive from McNally. I like that hustle, but she's going to be run out for a single. It's the end of 5 overs, and the score is 25 for 3. Look, you can't criticise the effort of these players, Regina, just like yourself. And look, really excited to be here. Vinny Sandu here, Mr. Maximo for the European Cricket Network. And I am here with the star of day one, Regina Sidisai from the Italian team. And Regina, we're just talking about it. I mean, really exciting week for women's cricket in Europe. And we're so glad that you're a part of it.
Oh, no, thank you so much for having me. It's an absolute honour to be here. Very excited for the rest of the week.
Yeah, and look, one thing this is... It's very obvious the development that's going on right now. You see some of the cricket we're seeing, it is top class. We've seen side-on run-outs. We've seen bowlers hitting the stumps multiple times in a row. We've seen some great catches so far, seen some big hits as well. And we're only getting started because it's only day 2 of 6. And, of course, you know, you'll be shooting for a top 2 position because then there's 100%. The final on Saturday night.
100%.
And what do 17-year-olds like to do on Saturday night?
Play cricket.
That's a good answer because I know your mum and dad are here. Anyway, let's get ready for over number 6. And it's going to be Sai Devata who's going to bowl. Yeah, I'm looking for questions for Regina in the chat. It's a pretty good ball. First up from Devata. Just bounces over the bat. Elizabeth Ferrari dropped herself in the middle order today. I think I had a question from John asking, do you play your cricket in UK or Italy? Now, if I'm not mistaken, you play in the UK, right?
I do indeed, yes, I do. I play for Anstai CC and Rofi CC. Shout out to them. They'll be very happy to know I've said something about them.
That's fair, though.
Yeah, of course. I play first 11 cricket for Anstai ladies. They're a great bunch. They're absolutely amazing. We've done well. We've been in the Premier League for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
Doing well. And I play for Rofi CC. I play in their men's team. I get to play occasionally in their thirds and fourths when I have the time, which has always been enjoyable. They're absolutely lovely.
Well, that's great.
I've got to play my youth cricket as well there as well.
I was going to say, have you, growing up, did you play a lot of cricket against boys?
100%.
Yeah.
All my cricket was probably with boys.
Yeah.
Which has been good in a way because I've never been viewed as the girl on the pitch.
Yeah.
I've always been viewed as a player, which I've always appreciated. So it's been good. It's been good. And the competition's harder, so it forces you to be better.
100%. Short. Nice looking pull shot. This is going to be 4. That's good work from Ferrari, who gets off the mark. And she'll be happy about that after not being able to trouble the score up last night. This was asking for it. It was a half tracker, and Elizabeth put it away. Good batting. Gibraltar. Now they have passed their score from last night. And remember, Sweden, they didn't exactly set the world on fire with the bat last night either, so they can maybe push to something 50 plus even. That might play. Yeah, look, what I was going to say is I've covered so much cricket now in Europe, over 2,000 games. Most people realise that are watching. But to me, it's special, yes, but to me, it's just cricket. You know, we've seen all sorts of cricket on ECN. Another pull shot this time. It finds the fielder. Elizabeth puts up the stop sign. Yeah, so for me, it's not even that much. It's not a novelty or anything. I mean, I'm just seeing cricketers out there giving 100% for their team. I'm seeing some really good cricket. I'm seeing occasional bloopers, which are very ECN, you know. And I just think it's been a really, really entertaining week. I'm so happy that we've got this off the ground. Last ball of the over. Takes on a ball that's on the stumps. Ferrari can't beat the field. It's the end of 6 overs and 29 for 3. Well, Andrew Hogan, he's watching the cricket in Australia. He said he thinks the Regina dress is better than Vinny. Well, that's not difficult. JR says she's a natural at cricket and as a commentator. A lady of talents agree.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah, any more questions for Regina? She's here for 4 more overs. So come on, don't be shy. Yeah, Chris saying the enthusiasm of all these ladies is infectious.
100%, 100%.
Mike Seal is saying, when do we get ECN cricket in the UK? Now, Mike, we would love to do some cricket in the UK. Actually, it's been on the calendar in 2020 and 2021, but logistical difficulties. So with Brexit, one of the issues we have is getting our equipment in, getting the people in, the necessary documentation. Unfortunately, we've had to cancel and move it. But I know we're planning to do maybe a series at Tunbridge Wells.
Wow.
We do have England's a big part of ECN as far as sending teams for ECL, the Champions League, and the Euros. Oh, this is a nice shot, and it's another pull shot. Legea is getting into it now. Her first boundary as Ravuri gets a little bit short. And, well, the car horns are going. The crowd's going wild. Nice moment. The Jibs get another boundary.
Yeah, it's always good to be a home team in one of these games. Have the support of the crowd. Have all the
100%.
Seen some signs everywhere as well for Gibraltar.
Yeah, we've seen a few flags up
Yeah,
as well. Seen the
100%.
Italian flag
Yeah.
around as well. Won't say where that came from. Jay Wild said, just great to see all these girls involved in the game. We all love being a game anyone of any age or gender can enjoy. Agree.
100%, I agree.
This one. Only sneaking past leg stump, but intelligent batting. Legage is happy to take a single. So, yeah, for me, I'm always looking at whether it's men's, women's, whatever level, improvement. And look, I've already seen so much improvement. I mean, look at the Gibraltar innings compared to last night.
100%.
Even Sweden, you know, I think they've been pretty good in both games, but most of the time keeping the brakes on. Good jinx by me as this is a full toss outside leg stump, and it's a stand-up sweep from Ferrari. Lizzie enjoying herself out there, gets her second boundary. That's good batting.
Yes, very well hit.
This is the danger quarter here, I think, because anything that's outside leg stump, I think their batters are very good at hitting the ball in that direction. It comes really fast. It's a hard part of the ground to protect. You can only have two fielders there. Normally, you just probably have the one. You're not really banking on the bowler bowling it there, right?
No. You'd hope they wouldn't bowl there anyway, just to save the wide, but hey, it's a free shot as a bat.
Yeah, exactly right. Another one tossed up and almost sliced back to the bowler. And Ferrari becomes important here. I'd probably like to see her batting a bit higher, but I mean, I suppose one of the things is sometimes you might want to be shielded from some of the first couple of bowlers and bat in the middle where you might get the third, fourth, fifth bowlers. Ferrari just knocks this one back, biding her time. So yeah, what else have we got here? Well, Harriet had a question in the chat. And we'll see if... Oh, there we go. That's a very good question, Harriet. Just spotted it. Nice little whip away for one. So this will be the end of the 7th over. And the score at the end of 7 is 39 for 3. And look, just a reminder before we get on to that question that we will be back tomorrow with more cricket. And exciting, we'll have 3 matches tomorrow. And you'll actually play back-to-back. You're going to play Gibraltar in match 6. You'll play Sweden in match 7. Yeah, going to have a really interesting clash against Sweden, I think, tomorrow night. And Gibraltar, I mean, they're improving all the time. We start, though, with Gibraltar Netherlands in match 5, so join us 4:30 GMT, which is 5:30 in Central Europe, and 10 p.m. in India for more FanCode European Cricket International from Gibraltar. It'll be night 3 of 6. And after tomorrow night, sad to say, it'll already be half over.
It's absolutely crazy to think that. I feel like I just landed in the airport.
Hang in there. So Harriet had a question, and she wants to know, how did it feel after getting your hat trick? Well done, by the way. What was that feeling like? You had to wait first to come back because you took 2 in 2. I was yelling, bring her back. I was scared that they were going to get bowled out. What was that feeling like?
Oh, absolutely incredible. It's just, I don't have words at the moment. It's pretty crazy to say. You know, I came into the game saying, if I get 1 wicket today, I'll be really happy. I'll have an international wicket. It'll be great. The first wicket came. I was like, oh, this is good. Second wicket came. Oh,
almost a catch. Knocked back to the bowler. And Ferrari gets a bit lucky here. Yeah. And so it's a magical feeling. I mean, some people go the whole life, they don't take a hat trick.
No, I mean, I'm quite grateful. I've taken a couple, but this is top.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, that was my other question. Have you ever taken one before?
I have.
All right. I've got a follow-up question then. It goes after this offside. The chase will be on. Might get 2 here if they hustle. They will. And nice batting by Ferrari. Again, crowd very supportive. So tell us about your other hat tricks. So you took 1 or 2 before? Don't say you've forgotten any because I don't believe you. Right?
I've taken 4 before.
4?
4, yes.
You've taken 4?
I've taken 4 hat tricks.
So this is your 5th?
This is my 5th one.
That's unbelievable. Really?
Yes.
Well, lucky I'm not on the camera because my face expression is befuddled. never heard of anyone taking 5 hat-tricks. All right, so how old, I'll just keep it simple. How old were you when you took your hat-trick roughly?
My first hat trick was when I was 14.
Yeah.
And then I got 2 last year, and then I got 1 the year before as well.
Unbelievable.
And
Do you remember the third wicket of all of those hat-tricks?
Oh, yes. I remember the third wicket of probably about 3 of them. One of them I don't know. The one when I was 14, I had no clue.
Shot. Drills it. Straight through. Shukla. That's an uncharacteristic error from her. Just did most things right here. Got down. Again, Gibraltar have looked good off balls that have been a little bit shorter, that they can comfortably play that cross-bat shot. And that one leaks to the boundary. So they're up in the 40s now. To 45. Okay. So you don't really remember the 14-year-old one?
No, but I remember the one for my second hat trick. My brother took the catch as keeper.
Oh, really?
Yeah, batsman edged it. My brother's not a keeper at all.
Oh, could be trouble. Yeah, it's going to be gone. And there we go. Ferrari goes to the well once too often. And this one does straighten down the line. So camera one for this one, leg one. And so Elizabeth bats really well for her 15. But this one, to me, it didn't look like it was missing leg. I think it was just coming back and hitting the stumps. Little nod from the umpire. And Devata says, yes, thank you very much. Wasn't convinced it was going to be given. I think she missed the nod, but a good little partnership there, getting Gibraltar up to something semi-competitive now with 45 for 4. Yeah, so, and the other ones?
Bold and LBW.
Well, that's one thing you did really well yesterday. All your wickets were bold or LBW. You're really good at asking questions, getting balls on the stumps, especially because it seems like, because the game's so short, batters seem like they want to go across the line a fair bit. 100%. So that certainly brings in those modes of dismissal, right?
That was kind of my worry going into the game. I was thinking, ooh, leg side's going to be quite an easy option for someone to hit. So if I just stick on the stumps, maybe slightly on off stump, outside off stump, that was kind of my goal. So if it is missed, it will be clean bowled or LW, or maybe a big hoik to cow corner. So
sticks through the ground for a reason. I think this might be high. It's called a no ball. Just has to get the furniture out the way of this. And yeah, welcome to the crease. But here's the good news. You survive that. Now you get a free hit. And this is Julia Anson that comes into the side for her first game of the series. So she can swing away at this one. Well, she did. But unfortunately couldn't make any contact. Yeah, so I only took 1 hat-trick in my whole life.
I see.
Yeah.
Do you remember your third wicket for that one?
Yeah, of course I do. So 8 overs down, 46 for 4. All I remember is I was bowling the second over. So I bowled till I was 18, then I took up wicket keeping, and that's what I really did professionally. But as a bowler, yeah, because we had the coach's son wicket keeping when I was a junior, and I just knew, don't bother, right? Anyway, you know how on a hat trick you bring everyone in?
Yes.
And like, but nothing ever goes to them.
No.
We had a short leg. And the guy went to block it and just bounced, hit his bat, and popped up short leg. But it was our worst fielder that was under it. I'm talking like a guy that's never taken a catch in his life. It just lobbed to him, and he took it. And that was it.
Those are the most amazing moments.
And we did about 3 laps of the field.
As you should.
We had extra burgers after the game that were put on.
Perfect way to celebrate.
It was brilliant. Yeah, I remember it. Oh, I'll tell you something. Postscript to this. This will be wide. Next ball was absolutely plumb LBW.
Yeah.
So I'd say they were 1 for 3 at this stage. And their umpire didn't give it out. It was their coach. To this day, it cost me. That's 4 in a row.
Yeah.
Pitching middle, hitting middle, LBW, left-hander. And he just thought he wanted to get out of there early.
To this day, you can see how much it
actually I just remember that. I haven't thought of that for, that's 26 years ago.
Wow,
right?
wow.
It's before you were born. Oh, nice sweep shot here. It's a good shot to only get 1, actually, from Legaut. Let's see if Anson can get a run, maybe get off strike and get Legaut back on strike. Noel's hitting them well at the moment. Yeah, so not that I'm bitter, but yeah, I'll probably never.
Oh, no, looking by your face, you could never be bitter.
That would have been 4. I just remembered that. I won't find that guy. Whitford's Junior Cricket Club in Perth, Western Australia. Somebody Google him. Anyway, this one's sliced up, and they got a run. And well done to Anson. She gets her first run in international T10 cricket. Doesn't matter how you get him, just looped over Alugunula, who's behind the stumps for Sweden. That's all right. Gets a bit of bat on that. Gets a good round of applause as well. Never easy coming in for your first game, although you made it look easy last night.
There were definitely some nerves, I think not having my kit was a bit of a setback all day. I've been thinking about that one, but hey, do with what I can.
Time for a couple more questions before you go. Got 10 balls left in this innings. Legaya faces up. 4 on the leg side on the boundary. Tries to go offside and misses. Dave has a question, and it's a very good question. Regina, had you seen any cricket on the ECN before you knew you were playing in this tournament?
I have indeed,
actually.
actually.
You have?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of things on ECN. I know a couple of players as well that play for some other European countries.
Yeah.
I know Mark Pav, who plays for Serbia.
Yes.
Yeah, I know
Oh,
him quite
yeah.
well. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Those guys are great.
From what he tells us, they're amazing. But yeah, I've seen you a couple of times before, Vinny, on a couple of games.
Is that right?
Yeah, I've been watching the Malta series as well. I think ECN's a great channel. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's growing all the time. I think James Metcalf was saying it's good to see how much it's grown, and it's still continuing to grow. We went from 17 games in 2019, our first time we were broadcasting, to around about 800 in 2020, to about 1,200 the last two seasons. This year, it might be close to 1,500.
Wow.
Well, that's how you hit a wide. And now they're going to go the long way. And they'll get another run. So, Anson, well, why take a wide when you can get a single? And so, well done to the Gibs. They've gotten up over 50 now. And I tell you what, I really like the attitude from Chamto. Maybe she's smiling because she knew that was a clear wide. She won't have to bowl that one again.
Well, I've seen her walking around the hotel. She's always got that smile on. Always got that smile on.
The attitude has been amazing from everyone. Oh, that one bites back a bit off the wicket. There's that short kind of half mid on, pretty straight mid wicket. It just stopped a lot of runs in this innings. It's the end of 9. The score is 51 for 4. Last chance to have a chat with Regina, because I think you've done a lot of work so far in this tournament. You've been batting, you've been bowling. Now we've got you commentating.
I wouldn't change it for the world. I mean, this is an awesome experience. I quite enjoy commentating.
I think we got to have you back at some point.
I quite enjoy sitting up here.
I'm going to go speak to your agent, because if you're taking a gap year, I think we might be able to have a chat about something.
Hey, I'm free whenever I come and commentate.
Yuvraj has a question. He's donated 500 rupees in the chat. Thank you,
Wow.
Yuvraj. He wants to know, have you heard Rico's bale, bale, bale? Have you heard that? That's his signature when there's a 6. I'll try and do one when there's a 6. Just stand by. No, Rico's bale, bale, bale is very famous. And I've learnt so much Punjabi off Rico.
I see.
He speaks it fluently. I don't. But I've learnt terms like Gundy ball,
Yeah.
which is an ECN term. I'm not convinced about this one. Maybe just go down the leg side. Shakalagya, Chaka de Fatte style. I like that as well. So, yeah, we've been learning. My question for you, as we get to the end of this innings, is what have you been doing during the day while you're here, when you're not playing cricket, or when you're not required? You get free time, right?
Yeah, we do. Of course, we're training. We train for a couple of hours a day, and then we go back to the hotel. I'd like to say I'm revising.
Okay. Well, I'd like to consider them going here to get Legaya back on strike, because there's only 4 balls left. And even if Anson gets run out, this is where you need to have high cricket IQ in this T10 to manipulate the strike at the end, even if it costs you wickets, because they've got wickets to play with here. You see, they don't go here. It's going to be tough to get off strike then, I guess. Yeah, so go on. Tell us what you've really been doing.
We, in the evenings, some of us, we've been watching a couple, Bollywood movies.
Oh, really?
Yes, of
Okay.
course. I'm understanding kind of.
This will be bowled, and so Anson goes down swinging. And she'll be the 5th wicket to fall. Well bowled by Shukla, who's really reliable. She's bowled 10 balls, and there's only 3 runs conceded, 2 wickets now. Again, gets it right. Anson, well, I liked what I saw out of her. She got a couple of runs, but now just to go as the 5th wicket, and it's 52 for 5. JR saying, we vote Regina in and send Vinny back to retelling my one and only hat trick plus the one that got away. Story of my life. Okay, so that's okay. So at night you'll go back and watch a movie or two?
I'm an avid understander of Urdu because my dad speaks Urdu. So Hindi movies has kind of been our connection for
Yeah.
a couple of the girls that maybe we can't communicate as well.
Yeah.
We listen to a lot of music. There's always a dance party. You
Yeah.
walk into a room, someone is dancing. There is no doubt about it.
It's it's a bit of a cultural melting pot, cricket in Europe. You know,
Yeah,
it is. I think
100%.
people don't realise that. You know, you just see some amazing things, all kinds of languages spoken. I mean, you'll have 11 guys that probably don't look ethnically French playing for France, and they're all chatting in French.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
at the ECC, like full French.
Yeah.
All the time. Same with the Spanish team. You see a lot of Spanish. I'm working on my Spanish. It's not great yet.
Oh,
Go on, run.
Stay with me.
Oh, I think my voice is carrying. It's run to come. I would have been going there. There's Raghunath getting a bat. She's into the side as well. Lagaya, he's just got a bit of FOMO at the other end. Well, Regina, we've got one more ball. Then we'll go through the highlights and we'll have a final little chat. Last ball time. And they won't get any further. So 52. Pretty much double their score from last night, though, Gibraltar. And they're going to finish at 52 for 5. Lagaya played some nice shots for 8. Star for me was Elizabeth Ferrari, the captain who came in. Yeah, she was batting pretty fast. They say Ferraris go faster. And she struck 3 boundaries in her innings of 15. The boundary apiece to Rosaline Riley and Noelle Lagaya as well. Let's roll the highlights as Shukla, well, she has been producing for Sweden. And I tell you what, they've got some pretty good dentists, Sweden, because I've seen a lot of pearly white smiles so far in this tournament, chasing their first win. Yeah, but Gibraltar, you'd have to say it's a much better effort from them with the bat than last night.
100%. You can see them trying to play more attacking shots, trying to look for a couple more singles.
Oh, that was a nasty one. That's the emoji with the bandage around the head right there that appeared in the chat. And then, look, one thing I like about Sweden is their hustle in the field. This is a brilliant direct hit from the captain. And, well, everyone was excited about it. We've seen some really good run-outs in this series. At Gibraltar, though, they continued to attack. They were able to manage 5 boundaries along the way. And ultimately, now we don't really know if that's a competitive score or not, because Sweden, remember, they had their own issues with the bat last night. And so, although they'd fancy themselves to chase this down, they'd have in the back of their mind, they only managed 44 last night. And as we saw, Ferrari come to the crease with 3 boundaries before she was eventually LBW, and she knew it. But that was good bowling. Surya Vuri, who has had a pretty good series so far as well. Aside Devata got that wicket, and Shukla finished with 1 late in the piece. There's all those beautiful pictures of Gibraltar, and actually that's Spain in the background, believe it or not. As Ferrari top scores 15 and a run a ball. Apart from that, Riley with 9. 8 not out for Lagaya, but she just couldn't pinch the strike back in the last over. They'll probably learn a little bit from that last over tactically, how they might have gone differently about that. As 15 extras got the score over 50, 52 for 5. As far as the bowling went, 2 for 3 Shukla, I think, was outstanding. She just continues to bowl good areas. Left armour straightens the ball down the line and got the rewards. Only 3 runs off her spell's quite amazing. The other wicket went to Devata, but a lot of good performance there. I think Champto, I like the way she goes about her business as well. She only conceded 10 off her 2 overs, but couldn't quite pick up a wicket. Well, Regina, big thank you to you for joining me in the commentary booth. We'd love to hear a bit more of you. I know you're very, very popular so far. You're lovely to talk to as well.
Thank you.
And look, we'll follow your journey very, very closely here on ECM.
Thank you so much. I've had an absolute blast being here. It's been awesome.
All right, well, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back. Joe Wigasani, well, he's had his 7-course dinner, and it looks like that he'll be back after a few minutes, and it will be 53. Sweden trying to get their first points. At Gibraltar, well, so are they. They need to defend 52, which will be an ECN record. But this is ECIW cricket. Anything can happen. Vinny Sandhu here, Mr. Maximo. And we'll be back very shortly with more FanCode European Cricket International. Hello and welcome back to Gibraltar. Tuesday night cricket, live from the Rock. Vinny Sander here, Mr. Maximo for ECN. In the first half of match 4, we saw the Gibraltarians out there and they were able to manage a score of 52 for 5 off their 10 overs. So Sweden are going out there to try and chase 53. Looks like they're going for Lindell at the top of the order. And she played some nice shots last night. At the other end, it looks like it will be Kanchan Rana. Vinny Sander here, Mr. Maximo. Joe Wegasani joins me after, I hope you had a really nice dinner. What did you have?
Oh, lovely dinner. Thank you, Vinny. Yeah, a little bit of chicken. I'm not sure if there's any chicken left in Gibraltar, the amount that we've been eating in the last week.
Yeah.
But
There are more
whoever
chickens than
sacrificed their chickens for us to eat, very grateful. Hey, wasn't that fantastic?
Yeah. Regina was amazing.
I actually only spent a little bit of my time having dinner and the rest of the time looking through the yellow, what's the equivalent of the yellow pages? Yelp. Yeah. Looking for a new job.
Do you know what? That's all right. We always love having you here, Joe.
Cheers. Absolutely
look, it's
great.
always good to get a few more people out there. And I think Regina has a really interesting perspective on cricket.
Yeah.
Ferrari
absolutely.
to get us going to run up. 53 for Sweden to take the points.
So the first ball for Ferrari. It hits the mark, but it then seams away and it's called a wide.
So here's what I found amazing. I said, so is that the first hat trick you've ever taken? She said, no, it's my 5th. Her 5th.
Takes them on a Sunday, just for
Her
fun.
5th hat trick. And she's 17 years of age.
What
Unbelievable.
plaque do you get your name written up on when you take
And she's
5
at the point
hat
where
tricks?
she barely remembers them because she's got so many.
Oh, great ball there, just cutting away. Unfortunate to miss the pad, and I feel if that had made contact, it would have been a close shout, but as it is, it gets past the keeper.
That is such a good delivery.
Great ball.
It's hit nothing. But how's the swerve on this from Ferrari? It's a really good piece of bowling.
Yeah.
Shaves the off stump.
Yeah, gee, you know what I really liked about that Gibraltar innings is Ferrari not coming in to open the batting. I feel like she got a little bit overawed just by opening the bowling, opening the batting last night.
Yeah.
And tonight she was able to come in and really play her natural
And
game.
against maybe not the frontline bowlers. I
True.
think that might have helped a little bit as well. So we'll keep an eye on that situation.
I mean, she comes to Sina Lindell, and just as we say that, just gets the radar wrong down the leg side, a wide.
Yeah, that's the movement. So a little tip for Lizzie. She's watching this back. For a left-hander with the shape she gets, I'd actually start my run-up a little bit wider so that she keeps the body shape the same.
Angled across.
Yeah, because at the moment she's swinging the ball a lot, but a lot of them are going to go down the leg side.
Or trying to go around the wicket could also be an option. On that occasion, just trying to give it a little bit air, and it gets a hot air balloon and gets taken over the batter's head.
Yeah, so
that's
this is what happens. So because she gets that amazing right to left curve, I think that if she goes wider, she's just now facing a bit more to the right, so she can bowl the same. When you start aiming with your arm, then you lose your natural release point and your natural swing, and that's why that one didn't swing. It just kind of went straight, and it looked a little bit unnatural. But I mean, she bowled a very good ball or two earlier in the over.
And she's been shown to be a thinking cricketer. Let's see how she...
Free hit coming up.
And it swung away behind square. It's running away to the fence. It is 4 runs.
Yeah, what a good shot. Sina really liked that one. And she had the immunity cloak on. Couldn't have been out except for a run out. Good placement as well. Gets it behind square. Gets the first boundary of this innings.
Yeah, they're the really dangerous ones when they're short and on the leg side. That is a big vacant area. There is only someone really at almost a 45 degree on the leg side. Coming around now more to the square leg. So just behind square, it's a big gap on the leg side. And certainly where they'll be trying to hit it. So Ferrari, it's on her now to tidy up this line. Can't manage it on that occasion.
It's a good swing. You see she's hard on herself,
yeah,
Ferrari.
She really wants to worry about not getting in her own head either.
Yeah, it's true. But I want to say hello to Louis Bruce. He's saying, well done, Jim, in the chat.
It's Louis the Bruce.
Oh, sorry, Louis the Bruce. A lot of noise. I'm liking this. Everyone trying to get behind Ferrari. Now she's going to take your advice and try a different angle.
Yeah, it's been great. The crowd here for the Gibraltar team. It's much better. And as you can see, ducking back in, but cut away through the covers. And a bit of a misfield. Could give it a chance for a second run. There's a bit of confusion, but they hold up their hands and say, nope, one is enough.
Yeah, Rob Thompson said Regina did a good job. So did Jeff Maguire. Said, get her to Cartermore Oval. Well, here's the thing. She is in her last year of high school. And she's already missing school. One of my questions was towards the end, what are you doing in your spare time while you're here? And she said, well, officially I'm studying.
Oh, and this one's just decking away, hitting that seam and really carrying it. So she might want to just try a bit of a scrambled scene action here.
I like that she's getting this movement, though. Like I say, so what she needs to do is just take her run up a little bit wider and then don't change anything. And that way, you're actually facing a bit more towards the leg side.
Yeah, a little bit like the protractor in Hungary.
Yeah, the protractor.
There's that one, more on target, but just moving away again. The display across the line. Would have given hope for a wicket, but as it is, it goes through to the keeper.
Yeah, it's better ball, though. I mean, with Gibraltar, it's always going to be consistency. That's the issue that kind of plagued them last night. But certainly, when they do get it right, they always look like they can take wickets.
That's a good ball and almost finds the edge. Well taken as well by Barton.
There it is. That's a very good ball.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right there, Vinny. If they can do this kind of thing consistently, going to be a very dangerous prospect for any team.
It's good bowling in anyone's language. Yeah, so Regina said she's studying during the day when she's not involved with cricket. So I hope that's not true. I mean, I hope it is a little bit, but I hope she's also having a bit of fun.
This is a good ball, been well played, off the back foot, square of the wicket, 1 run to the total. Hey, while you were talking to Regina, I had a little bit of free time. I was wandering around, had my dinner, checked out the job vacancies as that over comes to a close.
Come on, 12 for no loss. Hey, let me distract you by showing you this. If Gibraltar can defend this, it'll be an ECN record because no one has ever defended a score in the 50s. And if they bowl well, who knows what's possible. In Sweden last night only were able to make 44. Prague Tigers hold the record for the lowest score successfully defended. They did that in June last year on their first ever morning of ECN cricket. They made 60, and then I was like, okay, lunch is coming early because it was the second game of the day.
That's a good way to get into the action.
They kept Barbarians to 34. Okay, so what were you doing?
Amy Valverde. Now, the other thing I was doing is talking to Regina's parents.
Yeah.
Had a bit of a chat with them.
Imran and Kiara.
Imran and Kiara, indeed. As Valverde puts a short one down, and it was well directed, but paddled away, and there is a bit of a scramble as they try to hit the stumps at any end. Yeah, let's have a look. This might have just taken the keeper all the way through.
Some you want to stop, some you don't want to stop. Let's just see what happens here. See, maybe
it's just got a bit of glove down, deflected down onto the ground.
Yeah, I think Barton actually gets caught in the crossfire
in the no man's land, in the woman's land.
And that was a bit of glove on that, so it's been given a run.
So while I was talking to Kiara and Imran, the parents of Regina, I'll just let this delivery come about. Down the leg side, we'll have to be bowled again. It's a wide. What Kiara said to me is that, cricket, Regina's been playing cricket in England, and it's taken us to all these places around the world.
Yeah.
And we've gotten to go to little English towns that we never would have been to had it not been for cricket. And now here we are in Gibraltar.
Amazing.
And then what she said to me is there going to be a women's competition in Malta? Because I would really like to go to Malta.
I tell you what, Regina could probably play for one of the teams in Malta already.
It's played away into the covers. Well picked up as well.
Good fielding.
Yeah,
really good fielding. That's Lagaya. She's impressed me in this tournament so far. Done some very good things.
Yeah, all the ingredients are there. So Kiara's request is they get to go to Malta.
Well, even if you don't want to play it, there's been a fair few spectators in Malta, so just hop on. They've got a little mini grandstand there. We had a few people coming to watch. Why not?
So, almost a better one from Valverde, but just cutting away at the last moment, a wide.
All the kind of tools are there. You can see the good natural movement. It's just the location, which has been a bit of an issue so far for Gibraltar.
And I think you're right. It's a lot of that front arm, where that front arm is going. It seems to be dragging away a little bit at the last moment.
This is just a practice thing, right?
That's much better. And moving away, and the big swipe across the line yields no runs.
Yeah, so that's what I love. I was talking about improvement in the tournament already. We see Gibraltar, I think there's much improved batting effort from them. I mean, bowled some dangerous deliveries early. Sweden also, I think their fielding's been brilliant so far. We're trying to show what they can do with the bat.
So So this one, a full of ball and a big swing and a miss through to the keeper. Well taken by Button.
It's good length as well there, right?
And the thing on Sweden is that they only played their first international in 2021.
Right.
2021.
Yep.
And that was against Denmark. No, excuse me. That was against Norway.
Yep.
August 2021 was their first.
The neighbours.
They've got I'm sure they've had a few battles over the years. Not so much with the cricket bat. This one again just veering away and umpire lets it go.
It's okay. I think
We're giving them the line.
yeah, give them the line. That pretty much goes straight over the line. Get the
Yeah.
bit of foot movement from the,
Gee,
from
it
the
tracks
batter, but
back,
not much.
doesn't it?
Yeah. I can't believe how much they're swinging.
They're getting so much movement.
So, yeah, both these batters having to contend with that swing.
So flat batted back towards the bowlers. Valverde puts out a right hand, tries to grab it, and as it is, Ferrari has to come and mop it up. Another run to the total. Yeah, they've played 10 T20s and they've got an 8-2 record.
That's not too bad, is
Sweden.
it?
Yeah, they've only lost to Italy and Spain.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I know that there's a lot of work going on in Sweden in women's cricket. I've seen it myself when I've been there. Big focus on women's and juniors. And yeah, I was just chatting to Gunjan Shukla, the captain, who plays for Djurgården IF, the club we have seen a fair bit on ECN.
Bit of a slower ball this time for Valverde. Really well stopped there by Elizabeth Ferrari. She is moving like a Ferrari, I'll tell you that.
Well, I tell you what, shin fielding, that's 2023, baby. She doesn't even offer the hand. She slides
Straight
in.
in.
And if there's an opponent nearby, that's a straight red card, I think. But that's a brilliant piece of fielding. Putting her body on the line. It's also at the end of the over. It's 19 without loss after 2.
Yeah, from what I've heard, and correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but she also plays for the Gibraltar football team.
I believe it.
Elizabeth
After
Ferrari,
seeing
so
that,
you can tell where that came
believe
from.
it.
Hey, really good comment here in the chat as we have a look at the standings so far in this group after, what are we on? 4 matches, 3.5 matches now. Ian Latine's in the chat.
Hello, Ian. And congratulations on a great series.
Top run maker, yeah. And that's a really good comment on the swing that we're talking about, that the players are not so used to the swing. And it might be a little bit to do with the particular dampness we have going on or the pitch, how it is. So interesting to hear that commentary from the leading run scorer of the ACS.
I think it's probably the balls. I think the balls have a pretty pronounced seam, which means, when it's shiny, it tends to go. Also depends on your action. Ian, we'd love to see you down here. I know you've spent a fair bit of time down here lately, but I'd like to see you because I really enjoyed meeting you last year. I think I'll see him anyway at ECL, right?
Yeah.
For Lathbury Lightning.
Yeah, you sure will.
All right, here we go with Legea, who's going to bowl over number 3. She's done some good things so far. Let's rock and roll. It's still the power play, so they're only allowed 2 outfielders. That's why mid-on coming back into circle, right next to the other mid-on.
Sweden tracking it pretty well here, but you feel if a couple of those really good deliveries are online and they pick up a few wickets, it could really change the tone of this match.
100%. Got to get in the middle order. I'll be nervous, especially after last night.
So Sina Lundell on strike at the moment.
Yeah, I knew that they wouldn't stick with 2 mid-ons for too long. And they weren't close enough to shake hands. So one's gone to a mid-off. That makes sense. Anyway, let's get going here.
I like this field on the leg side as well. Just the one out there. There's that one a little bit better as well on line and just defended to the onside.
One thing
run added.
I think Gibraltar could take a leaf out of Sweden's book. They had a fielder probably about 10 to 12 metres from the bat on the onside.
Yeah.
And it was just a lot of balls go there. It just makes it impossible to get a run.
And that was Sina Lindell doing that job and doing a very good job as well. Saved everything. Yeah, it's a good call, Vinny. So this one cutting back in and well played away off the back foot to the offside. It's collected. The throw's coming in. If it hits, it would be close, but alas.
Nice shot. That's a nice shot. It's a good cricket shot off the back foot.
Yeah.
By seeing it. Yeah, left-hand, right-hand combinations already caused a bit of chaos, I think, with the bowler's control. It's hard enough to control it when you're just trying to bowl one line, but then you're constantly having to switch. And that's one reason we've seen a bunch of wides so far.
To the right-hander now. And just getting it too short on the leg side. It's found the gap as well. It's rolling all the way to the rope, all the way for 4 more runs.
Yeah, nice shot by Rana. He hasn't had too much he can hit so far, but yeah, this is the pressure reliever really, isn't it? You have to try and avoid those balls outside leg stump. They're asking for trouble. And trouble is exactly what Legea ran into. As Rana gets her first boundary here in match 4.
Yeah, so just a few balls left in the power play now, and they really want to make sure that they do not leak too many more at the moment. Sweden going at a pretty good clip, just under 10 runs and over, and certainly they don't need to be going at that rate to reel this in. Bigelow as well to Andy Reyes in the trap now. Hope that finger is recovering well. This one a fuller ball. It should be a no ball. It is. So it's going to be a free hit, and it's been a little bit of a misfield as well.
Yeah, again, just losing a length there that time, Legea. So free hit coming up, and you can see that one thing. I think Gibraltar, if they could be a bit more consistent, they wouldn't be past them to maybe defend this. But remember, I think they conceded 37 extras yesterday, and already we're up to around about 10 of the 24 runs.
Yeah,
so
it's a big difference, isn't it?
It's tough.
Yeah, certainly it's giving an extra, well, really an extra couple of batters to the team, to the opposing team.
A free hit coming up for Lindell.
And this one coming back in again. It's up in the air. It's
Wow.
not going to be caught. Could be run out though, but
Sally Barton loves to throw herself around.
Gets all over it.
And I'm not going to mention a lady's age on global television, but let's just say that Sally's one of the more senior members of the team. But I tell you what, she gives 120% out there, and that was a free hit. I didn't get the memo. It wouldn't have even been out if she'd caught it.
Yeah, love the enthusiasm, and that's what we've seen in Gibraltar. Certainly, everyone throws their body on the line. As that, well, drifts away too full and will probably be, it's a wide.
Yeah. Again, the left-hand, right-hand combination, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, Gibraltar just, they'd love to get a few highlights here, even if they're not quite able to defend this. We saw them last night against Italy. They managed to take 3 wickets along the way. They'd love something similar here. Legea trying to get out of this over.
So we've got a lot of the Gibraltarian male players tuning in as well as Legea comes in. This one's more on the money, but too full and driven. Well, dragged away to the onside, actually, all the way to the rope. It's 4 more runs.
Fantastic shot from Lindell. This time it does hit near the middle of the bat. It made a really nice crack. Good footwork as well. I think she's got in good position to hit that. Pretty much could choose where she
was
hit it.
in a position to drive it, exactly, and then at the last minute found that big gap on the leg side. That's really smart batting.
Yeah, front foot did get out there towards the pitch of the ball. Got her a little bit closer to the ball. So, last ball, the power play coming up. It's been a pretty decent one for Sweden.
That's a bit of a quicker ball and more on the stumps, but well picked up all the way over the rope. 6 big runs.
Maximo time.
Sina Lundell.
Wow, Sina.
She's seen her well.
Yeah. Sina is believing. It doesn't really work, but the shot did.
I
and
really
that's
love
the
the effort.
end of the over. It finishes the power play with boom. It's 37 without loss.
Yeah, 37 without loss, leaving them not too much. 17 runs, I believe, is now needed. Where are we at there, Vinny?
Yeah.
As we have a look at how they've gone about building this innings, and you can see there what the difference it makes with the power play, really capitalising on a couple of those overs.
And, yeah, so I think you see the left-hander being there. Probably, if Legea had that over again, I'd like to see it over the wicket. Maybe try to push across the batter, although Lindell played some really nice shots, but I think she really enjoyed that angle into her body. Now, here's someone I loved last night.
The wicket taker.
Yanira Blagg. I love that she's got such an unusual approach. It's got to be off-putting. I'm a big fan of anything that's a bit different. When she got it right, she was tough to play.
It's very energy efficient.
Yeah, she's way in front of the umpire.
Oh, he gets it right on the mark to start with. And
she's one of my favourites already.
Very difficult to get that
Let me
kind
tell
of
you a
bowling
story.
away.
I played a cricket with a guy who he played first-grade cricket. In fact, he led first-grade cricket bowling, but then he had a really bad injury, and then he would bowl pretty much off a run-up about this far. Not quite, about this far, but starts in front of the umpire.
Well, she delivers it really nicely as well, and a fuller ball down that channel window in this format. That is very difficult at that pace.
So here's the thing. You know how the umpire normally puts their arm out to say don't bowl yet?
Yeah. It wouldn't
you
work.
Can't do that
It wouldn't work.
to Blagg. So do you know what umpires used to do to him? I'll tell you.
Well, she's accurate, that's for sure, and she is on track.
Wow.
At the moment, no runs off this over.
So,
Or is that one that they scrambled through for one?
so the umpire used to hold the back of his shirt and then
let him
let
go.
go when he's allowed to bowl. Now, I think Black's so far in front of the umpire here, he can't even reach.
I mean, you could get one of those leads that they put children on. You know?
I don't know about that. Might not go down too well.
Just
Certain
unfasten it when
certain
you're
shops you
good
can
to
buy
go.
those, though.
Oh, well, you would know.
Look, Black's doing great here. She's gone 3 out of 3. Let's see if she can get 6 out of 6. Got a left-hander to contend with now. Ah, good jinx again. Class commentary jinx. Pushes his one across for a wide. Again, left-hand, right-hand combination. Tough to deal with.
Yeah, it's been a great start in her career here, international career at Blag. So far, certainly putting pressure on these batters, unable to get her away. And once again, just right on the money, and there could be a run out if the pickup is good, but actually decided not to take the chance.
Yeah. I've decided I'm a bragger.
Yeah,
I can't get enough of it. She's as simple as you like. Just getting it down, getting it straight, causing issues.
you're a dag of a bragger, Blagger
Yeah.
bragger.
I'm a daggy bragger.
Blagger bragger. Well, she's trying to blag another wicket there, but it's not going to happen, as she'll have to bowl it again.
Probably a
It's
good
all
result, because that could have quite easily been knocked away for 4 or 6. Anyway, hello to Kitty Huntley in the chat. Elliot saying it's coached by Chris Camilla. And so I think Chris has done a very good job. I like it. You know what? When I coach people that have never bowled before, I normally say, don't worry about the run-up. Just worry about the action, then work backwards.
Yeah, it's good advice as well, as that one's been hit straight down the ground. It's going to make it all the way to the rope, beating the field up. 4 more runs. That is good hitting by Sina Lundell. She's swiftly moved to 22.
Yeah, good shot. That's a good cricket shot there. And beats the fielder and runs away for 4. She did pick up a wicket last night, Blag. Last ball of the over coming up.
This one down the leg side, and we'll have to be bowled again. Unfortunate.
Yeah,
It's a good length.
It's a left-hand, right-hand thing.
But,
That's all.
Yeah.
She's pretty good at bowling stump to stump most of the time. Normally she pulls a little bit to the left, which is good for right-handers. And left-handers, obviously, that'll be called a wide, or even worse, they're pretty comfortable smacking it on that half of the field.
And tries to correct and just
Yeah.
goes over correction. And that
Yeah, so I mean,
case.
she had the consistency for half an over. You know, now it's just, an overcorrection, just like you said. There's a slightly unusual arm angle. But I mean, again, she'll be able to watch herself here and kind of pinpoint these little things, and I think her bowling will be a lot better after this tournament, after seeing.
Oh, well struck as well, but the field is going to get down. There could be a run out if they're in order here.
Brilliant stuff.
One thing though, that Blag just need to do a little bit better there was position herself behind the stumps.
Yeah, end of the over, 47. Yeah, you're right, though. It's just a little basic. And it's a lot about learning just a few of the fundamentals. You can see there, just in case that was going to hit the stumps, we'd never know. It's good goalkeeping from Blag as it's the end of the over. 47 for no loss after 4. Coming up in the morning, well, good news. It's another high five of cricket from Malta with 5 games tomorrow and Thursday. And then we're done with the group stage. Elimination day coming up on Friday and then finals day on Saturday. Rico Full is standing by for your company tomorrow morning, 7:30 a.m. GMT, 8:30 in Central Europe and 1 p.m. in India. Gozo CC versus the Lions. Gozo CC hoping to maybe sneak into the 8. Here we go with Valverde.
Yeah, and the first one just down the leg side, so she'll have to bowl that again. Yeah, Rico's been doing a great job over there. What a series that is turning out to be. And the biggest amount of cricket, the most dense concentration of cricket you could imagine going on right here at ECN. As Sina Lundell prepares to face Amy Valverde. So much better line that time and just a little bit short, so cut away through the covers. Ferrari manages to keep it to the 1 thus far. Good backing up as well.
Yeah, so good experience for all these bowlers as well. A question for you from Kitty, I just missed it, but asking you, Joe, how many languages do you speak? She speaks English, Spanish and Dutch.
I speak a bit of English.
Yeah, okay.
I'll get through it. Australian English.
Australian.
I guess I would say 3. Australian. Yeah. Yeah, 4 if you include Australian.
Australian. S-T-R-A-Y-A-N.
S-T-R-A-Y-N. It's our mother language.
And what else?
Yeah, I spent 5 years in Germany when I was a teenager, so I
Yeah.
learnt German there.
Sure.
And then I've lived in the Netherlands for the last 14 years, and I've managed to learn Dutch.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
like Dutch. Even though both the languages you described that aren't English,
Well,
sound to
Dutch-
me like people choking.
Dutch is literally just German and English having a car crash with a Frenchman looking on.
50's up. 50 partnership for these two as well. So it's a nice little milestone for them. And they're looking to take Sweden all the way. Just 3 required for victory now.
There's a short one on the leg side, well taken off the pads and not finding the gap though. Good work by the fielder at backward square leg. You know, the language I really love though to speak is French.
Yeah.
And I used to speak a little bit more of it, but it's completely out of use now.
Yeah.
But nice,
The spelling in French
nice
drives me
bottle of
crazy.
wine. The key to French though is to, if you don't know the word, you just say the English word in a French accent.
Yeah.
And you'll be right about half the time.
They love that.
Yeah. So that one's short and pulled away really nicely. It is going all the way to the rope for another 4.
And that will do it for Sweden. They do it with 10 wickets to spare. So unfortunately for Gibraltar, they're not able to break through. This one just short down the leg side. Verde just couldn't quite get it where she wanted it. But congratulations, and look, a 50-plus partnership for Sweden with Kanchan Rana and Stina Lundell, getting them across the line. And
Yeah.
Sweden, congratulations to them. They have their first win in T10 international cricket.
Fantastic. And doing it without losing a wicket as well is a boon, a feather in their cap for this performance. And don't take anything away from Gibraltar.
Yeah.
We once again saw some really great signs.
Really improved with the bat tonight. I think they'll be disappointed a little bit with the ball. But against all the learning curve, isn't it? It's coming up tomorrow night. Gibraltar, they're going back-to-back in the first couple of games. Tough one against the Netherlands first up. And then Italy, we've got the double-header. Gibraltar and Sweden will make an appearance in the third game. 3 games tomorrow night. Make sure you join us for that. But right now, let's have a look at the highlights of this chase. And really, there were some testing deliveries in here. But I think in between, Gibraltar just gave a few too many gifts to Sweden, and they were prepared to cash in.
Yeah, I think you're right, Vinny. It was all about the sundries, but we saw some wonderful fielding efforts there, no less by Elizabeth Ferrari, sliding it with the shin, taking all her football prowess to the cricket pitch. Some nice striking as well, particularly by Stina Lundell. She was looking very, very strong at the crease, playing with quite some free and abandoned grace, choosing where she wanted to put it on the pitch.
Yeah, I mean, I like the hustle in the field from Gibraltar when they got opportunities. I like the work from Ferrari, who was willing to put her body on the line. But I think, look, the rain issues here, trying to switch from left-handed to right-handed and controlling the swing, they're the two things. I think it's something probably to practice with new balls maybe and see if you can replicate the condition of a swinging ball and maybe look just bowling at a target. I think that is probably going to help. Looking at that, Lundell and Rana get them across the line. I think Lundell played some really nice shots.
Yeah.
Saw a sign of what she could do. 16 extras in less than half the innings, so it's something that I think Gibraltar are going to have to work on. But ultimately, you've got to hand it to Sweden. They played the better cricket and they get the points.
Yeah, super positive for the Swedes. They suffered a pretty big loss yesterday and coming out here now and managing to put on a significant total without losing a wicket. Very, very good going by the top of the order there.
Yeah, look, and there's some positives in the Gibraltar bowling. I think Ferrari, her best balls were very, very difficult to deal with. And, a bit unlucky not to take a wicket. Ferrari and Valverde, who was swinging the ball in the power play. Legea had a bit of a rough one in her over, went for 18. And Blagg, again, continued to like her bowling. And I think she's going to get better and better. And I think, she'll probably learn a few things from what she's seen. But, I like it. She's a bit different. And don't be afraid to be different. But
He's a Blagg bragger.
I'm a Blagger bragger. I have to say, I'm a big fan. And, well, it's just unfortunate for Gibraltar. They couldn't break through. And Sweden, they win this game. They do it with 32 balls to spare. Okay, well, it's been a great night here in the commentary box once again. Vinny Sandhu here, Mr. Maximo. Got Joe Wekasani with me. Joe, we also had a bit of a guest commentator. Big thanks to Regina, who did 10 overs tonight.
Regina Subazahaya.
Yeah, Sudazai. She told me it's just Sudazai.
Sudazai.
Yes,
Okay,
wait,
perfect.
Yeah,
That's
so
so much
don't be
easier.
fooled by all the extra
'Cause
letters.
I can feel the constrictions in my chest every time I have to say it.
Look, she was great to see. Look, big night for the Dutch girls as well. I think they were really tested in that game versus Italy. So positives, I think, for both teams. The Dutch get the win, and they were tested. They came through it. I guess Heather Seegers, her ankle injury, we'll have to keep an eye on that because the Netherlands have a couple of games tomorrow night to worry about. Or at least one game tomorrow night, and then, of course, later in the week. But, yeah, we saw some Great keeping again from Babette Delata. Saw a lot of things. I thought Zwilling bowling well. The Netherlands still the team to beat, but they certainly got a scare from an Italy team that really showed a lot of heart in that first game.
Yeah, Italy win no pushovers and just positives from every single team that's out there on the pitch tonight. And I can only see great things going for this tournament going forward.
Yeah, and I'm loving the hustle in the field. I think we've seen some brilliant fielding. I know that the players will still be working really hard on those things. And it'll also be interesting to see how, as we get to the end of the week, when the fatigue comes in a little bit, even though you're not playing that much on the field, but definitely the week gets long and the pressure will go up. Don't forget, more cricket tomorrow in Malta. Rico Full will be standing by. The next cricket on ECN will be match 91. They're closing in on the century there. They'll get it in the next couple of days. 7:30 a.m. GMT, which is 8:30 in Central Europe. 1 p.m. in India. And yeah, should be really interesting. Go to CC. Well, their tournament's in their hands, especially if they can knock over the lines a couple of times. Maybe that master game could decide if they make Elimination Day or not. We're going to leave you with some highlights for the day. Hope you had a great night with us here on ECN. Don't forget, go to our social media at European Cricket to have a look at some of the best bits, including bits from this tournament you're watching right now. Also, don't forget, if you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel, ECN European Cricket Network, and like this video for more live cricket. Joe, great job again tonight.
Chris likes.
And big thank you to... I'm bad at fives. Anyway, look, thanks to Productions
It's
and the Blue
been messed
Crew.
up since COVID, hasn't it?
Everybody else, have a happy, have a safe rest of the evening. We'll see you back here at the Rock tomorrow night, Malta tomorrow. But right now, here's the best bits of day 2. Vinny Sander here, Mr. Maximo. We'll see you tomorrow for cricket right here on the European Cricket Network. Good night, everybody.
Hundreds of clubs all over Europe are coming together today. Thousands of cricketers want to be stars, show their talents when they play. We've got commentary, action-packed cricket frenzy. You're hooked, you can't deny. Worldwide audience watching to see which team will lift the cup up high. Oh, cricketers, European cricketers, share your passion, pride and flair with the world. Cricketers, European cricketers, time to cheer and show the world what you got. La 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 la.
There he goes, he sent that pack in, but the shaka, 6 more.
Oh, cricketers, European cricketers, share your passion, pride and flag with the world. Cricketers, European cricketers, time to cheer and show the world what you got. Time to cheer and show the world what you got. Time to cheer and show the world what you
Mentioned
got.
turbo earlier, that's supercharged. 6 runs, that's gone into orbit. It's another Kookaburra ball that's going to be circling our planet for years to come.